Yep. And so, hey there. Hey, everybody. Um,
Hello.
I think we're kicking off the live stream right now. Trace, it's so good to see you. How are you?
It's nice to see you as well. I'm doing very well. I'm excited. I'm nervous. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
And thanks for
Yeah.
asking me to be here. So
No,
cool.
of course. So, hello to our awesome Space for Humanity crew out there who are watching and following along. You may remember Trace. Trace was one of our amazing mentors for last year's zero G flight. We're gonna have to run that idea back because it was like so inspirational. What did
It
you
was,
think, Trace?
I mean, it was an indescribable experience. I've been trying to explain to people what it's like to go into zero G for almost, 8 months or something. But getting to meet all of the space mentees, they were like, it's been amazing. And like my space mentee has gone on to do some other amazing things and gotten some really incredible connections, both from this and also just because she's incredible and kept pushing, to what she wanted to do, which is work in the space industry. And she's making it, which is just
Yeah,
awesome.
her name is Roxy, and she's
Hmm.
literally a rock star. We're gonna
Nice.
we're gonna have to follow up, Trace. We've got to do like either a little live stream or some storytelling with her and get her on because she's
Yeah.
just an amazing human. All of them were amazing humans. So now that I'm saying it out loud, before we jump into why we're here, Artemis II Splashdown, remind me at some point we've got to do a follow up with all the mentors, all the zero G participants. They're all rock stars. So
They really
let's do
are.
that soon.
Yeah.
But that said, welcome to the stream. Today is the big day. It's been 10 days. I cannot believe it has been 10 days that Artemis II has gone to the moon. 4 brave astronauts have gone, been the farthest humans to go to go from Earth, and now they're about to splash back down in about just over 30 minutes from now. It's kind of wild.
It really is wild. I mean, you've been following it along, I know. And I have just been like everybody in my feeds, in the algorithms that I am seeing, is just pumped. Like,
Yeah.
just absolutely every new photo, every photo op, every time a condiment floats through the capsule, everyone's excited about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. First of all, I am biased. I'm Italian. Speaking of condiments flowing through the capsule, Nutella, mwah,
I know. I was gonna say. I
chef's
didn't.
kiss.
I didn't know if we want to call it out or not. Also,
I
is
mean,
Nutella a condiment? I feel
I
bad.
mean,
Like it's somehow demoting it.
I put it on a lot of stuff, and if Nutella would like to sponsor a podcast, a YouTube series, I'm all for it. I'm here for
This
it.
is Hazelnut Talk. Welcome,
Oh yeah,
sponsored by Nutella.
two astronauts talking about hazelnuts. So that
Excellent.
said, before I keep going down this pun pathway, let me do a couple of things. First and foremost, let's share the actual Artemis stream and let's just
Yeah.
have it on, right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to miss any of the action. So let's go over. There it is in all its glory right now. I mean, that's not a live shot, that's a visualization, obviously. That'd be kind of
Right.
wild.
Though
But
you'd
let's
be
just,
surprised how many people don't know that sometimes.
yeah,
Back when
yeah,
Mars Curiosity was landing, people were like, "How did they get this footage?" And it's just
yeah,
like,
yeah. It's like we set the cameras first. That's what we did.
yeah,
And so let's keep that on. But in the meantime,
Houston, we got
let's
a
start to
great view
welcome
of the
some of
European
our
service
awesome guests
module out the
because I
window
know
with
we
the
have
sun hitting the side
people
and
who
the solar
are
rays
I
and the
think as
NASA
interesting as you and
worm right
myself.
there.
But
It's a
let's
beautiful
get them
looking
onto the
machine.
screen here and say hello to some folks. So if you don't mind, I'm going to start
Roger.
admitting some people into the stream, and let's just say hello to folks that we know and love. Ready?
ready.
So first, I'm going to introduce
And we have completed the
Ari
maneuver to the raised
Eisenstadt.
burn
Ari is
orientation.
an amazing human
1
being,
minute
a
away
force
from the
of
raised
nature.
burn.
He is the chairman of the board of advisors for Space for Humanity. Ari is incredible and just doing a great job inspiring me every day, inspiring our advisors, and getting folks to just be super motivated. And Ari, I want you to say hi, but we're also going to start piling in some other guests as well, because I have people in the waiting room, and I want to bring them in. But let's start with you first.
Amazing. We're saying aloha physically from Hawaii right now, but mentally I'm on the far side of the moon, celebrating this eclipse picture that was taken by our Artemis astronauts. So excited to talk about that as we celebrate reentry.
Love it so much, Ari. We're gonna get to know a little bit more about you in a minute. Next person I'm gonna bring on is JD Russell. So if you hold on one second, I'm bringing on JD now. And there's JD. JD, how are you?
I'm good, Antonio. How are you?
I'm doing great. JD I have to be nice to. He's one of my bosses. He's on the board of directors for Space for Humanity.
And the crew
But JD
module
also has an
raise
incredible
burn is
distinction
underway.
of being a
19-second
two-time
firing of the
Origin
thrusters.
astronaut. So JD,
And
I
we
guess
have a
once
completion of
wasn't
the
enough
burn.
for you. You decided to go up there twice. And also, you are someone who runs a fund and you invest in aerospace. So you've seen the future and now you're investing in the future. Thank you for being here, JD.
Thank you for having me, Antonio.
Integrity.
Absolutely.
Good.
And the
CM
last
raise
person
burn.
we will
Your
have
flight path angle
jump
is within limits.
into the show here is our good friend Max. There's Max. Hey, Max, how are you?
Hey, everybody.
So Max,
It's great to be here.
yeah,
Final
Max
maneuver
joins us.
is now
He's
complete.
an enthusiast, a historian,
Our
and
trajectory
he owns
for a
company,
splashdown
founded
in the
a company
Pacific
called
29 minutes
Replicas.
from now is
If you've been
set
following our
and
feed
will
on
not be
social
amended
for
further.
the past several weeks, you
And
may
we
have
have
seen
the right
Max,
angle of attack
when we haven't cropped
to
him,
mitigate
cropped him
any
out of a photo.
excessive
He
heat
makes those
loads
amazing
on the
jackets
vehicle
that he's
during
wearing.
entry
He makes
interface.
period
Integrity,
correct
Houston.
replica
A heads up about comm
Apollo era
coverage.
flight suits and other accoutrement.
When
and
you
he is just such
perform
an enthusiast. I
the
know you're streaming it on your
180
Lunar Replicas
roll
channel as well
for
to
the
get the
first
word out
minute
about
or
this.
so in
And we've
that
got some really
attitude,
special
we
fun
expect
announcements
about
to
a
make
minute
later
LOS.
in conjunction with Max and Lunar Replicas. Thank you for joining us, Max.
We copy.
Happy to be here.
Great. And so, I can't miss an opportunity. When we have an astronaut on, JD, not to put you on the spot, but we're always eager to hear from you.
So for those
you're the
who are
person who on
watching,
this screen who's
the
talking right
series
now,
of
who's
events
experienced
coming
the
up,
thrill, the G's
we
of
will
going to space, of looking at
enter the first
background
traces
we
of
have
Earth's
going on our
atmosphere
webcast, where
14
you've
minutes,
looked out on
45
the Earth.
seconds from
You've
now.
passed the Kármán line. Can you just explain to us, honestly, what was the
6:53
origin
and 30 seconds
for
is
your
what is
passion
pegged
for
for entry
space, and what was
interface at an
that
altitude of
experience like?
400,000 feet, traveling at approximately
Are you muted,
34,800
JD?
feet per second, range to touchdown or
You may be
splashdown,
muted. There,
1,701
Sorry.
nautical miles.
Yeah, we can go to space, but we can't figure out the mute
24
unmute
seconds
button.
after entry interface,
So,
we will enter a
No,
6-minute
every
blackout
kid
period
dreams about going to
in
space.
which
When
we
you're a
will
little
lose
kid, I
communication
can
with
remember
the crew.
being
This is
looking out my
expected
window
due
and
to the
just
buildup
looking at the
of
moon and
plasma
seeing the
around
full
the
moon and
vehicle
wondering what it would be like to go to the
ionization
moon. So
due
I've
to
gotten
the
close,
collision,
not as
if you
close as
will,
these
of velocity
heroes
of the
got,
spacecraft,
but I would love to
friction of
follow
the
up
Earth's
and get on the
atmosphere.
moon before I
That 6-minute
run out of
blackout
time.
is expected
So I'm
to begin
hoping
at
that in our lifetime we'll
6:53
see
and
multiple
54
people living on the
seconds
moon full
p.m.
time,
Central
and
Time.
more people will have a chance to get up into
During
space
that period of
really
time,
experience the
we
overview
will reach
effect.
our peak speed
It's a
of
life-changing experience to really look down on the
24,661
Earth
miles per
and see
hour.
the world without
Comes
borders.
just short,
It'll just change your life
based on
from your
unofficial
perspective,
data
and you
from the
realize
flight
how
dynamics
fragile the Earth
officer
is.
right
So
now. Will come
right
just
now, these
short
guys
of
have
the
probably the
velocity
best view
record set
of
by
Earth
Apollo 10.
swimming around.
So,
Be
sorry,
ready for
excuse me, JD, Antonio, is it
4,791
possible for you to
miles
turn
per
the
hour in
volume down a little for
1969.
for mission control, or even mute it? Yeah. Think so.
Antonio's on mute now too. So he's now he's gone and done.
52 seconds p.m. Central
Oh, I
Time,
still hear
minute
it.
and 22 seconds
too
into
loud still,
entry
or-
interface.
It's still pretty loud.
Okay, how about that? I just muted it. We can watch,
Perfect.
and when the action stops, we'll bring back the audio. But back to you,
Great.
JD. Yeah, I love hearing the passion. Tell us more about, explain to us a little bit more about the overview effect.
Well, the overview effect was coined by our friend Frank White. He's a Harvard professor, an amazing individual that I hope one day can experience the overview effect himself. And he started a career of interviewing all of the Apollo astronauts, and over time developed a lot of different information and feedback from people. And I don't want to take anything away from it because his book is amazing, and everybody that's interested in space should read it at some point in time and really understand why it's so important that he specifically get up into space one day here soon. Everybody's experience is a little different, and everybody's experience is very much the same. If you're a religious person, the people that I've talked to and the people he interviews, they tend to have a very religious-like experience, a God-like feeling that they're close to God. Other people have had very different feelings and emotions that come behind it. I like to say the human brain really isn't meant to see the Earth from space. When you're that high up, it's really is a lot to unpack. And the first thing you really notice is you just can't see the borders. You can see the Earth, you know your geography a little bit. If you paid attention in high school, it all comes back to you. Or if you're like me and you go on Google Earth and like to zoom in on different places in the world, you can see that, but you just don't see the territories. And you immediately realize just how small the world really is and how we're more of one people. We really are connected, and that in our humanity, we should be working a lot harder for peace and to take care of our planet. Because when you look at it from space, and everything in space wants to kill you. I mean, literally, you're in this little capsule, and if something goes wrong, it's always in the back of your head that will kill you. And that planet down there that's so far away is home. And home needs to have clean air. It needs to have clean water. It needs to be a safe place for people to live and go about their lives. And that is something that I think more people feel that. I can talk about it. You can look at it on a video, but unless you're there and experiencing it, you just can't quite have that same feeling. And if we have more world leaders and more business leaders and just people in the world that can have that experience and take it back and share it with everybody else, they can really pass on to other people how great we are and how special we are and how amazing just humans are and this one planet is. And they'll take care of each other. I feel like you'll become a nicer person. And you'll understand that something that nationality and countries that divide us, we're a lot closer and a lot more one people than what we're led to believe when we're in school. You know, I don't know. It's not really my generation, but I can remember when the Berlin Wall fell. Antonio, you may have been there. I'm not sure. You know, I know that you were around for the Civil War. I'm not sure if you fought for the North or the South.
Hey, you're the one who gets me all these gray hairs, my friend.
Well, mine just falls out. But we grow up in a world that's an us, them. We're this country and there's that country over there, and we're different. And that's really not who we should be striving to be as a people. And hopefully, world peace is achievable. We saw so much in the Cold War change as we worked together to accomplish missions in space together between the U.S. and Russia. And I think that really helped bring us closer. Ronald Reagan said that the handshake when we docked, when Hoot Gibson docked to the Mir, brought world peace with that one handshake right there.
And you're speaking right to the ethos of our mission. I expect you to, as a board member, right? That that space brings people together, right? And so we know that, and we're trying to spread that word everywhere with the overview effect. The other thing I wanted to say really quickly is, it just popped up, Melissa. Trace, if you remember, for our 0G flight, Emily Calandrelli's mentee is here in the chat and watching. Hey, Melissa. Oh, my goodness. How are you? Give our best to you and your students. Melissa, you're such an inspiration, and I love your enthusiasm. And I don't know if you missed it at the top of the programming. Trace and I were talking about how we have to not just run back the programming, but also do an update with folks. Like, it'd be great to hear back from you and see how you're doing a year after experiencing zero gravity. But JD, you are not the only astronaut here. I'm about to bring in somebody else who is in the waiting room.
Oh,
Let's
great.
see if we can get Aisha. Hey, Aisha, how are you? So, Aisha,
hey, what an amazing night.
No, please tell us, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. I'm anxious. I can't wait for Splashdown.
Yes, absolutely. And for those of you who don't know Aisha, she's a talented aerospace engineer. She has an incredible company that makes really amazing STEM kits that we have to partner on sometime soon, because you are just inspiring hearts and minds through them. But you also inspired a lot of hearts and minds, because if folks don't know, you were part of the first all-female crew that went up with Blue Origin. So now we have multiple Blue Origin astronauts on screen. JD, a two-time flyer, and Aisha here as well. So we were just hearing from JD the impact of the overview effect that he had on his life. Tell us a little bit about that impact, the journey for you, and being one of the the blessed few who get to see a lot of these viewpoints that we're seeing on the stream right now. How did that affect you, and what did that give you for a perspective shift?
I mean, it totally changed how I live every element of my life. I came back and I felt so overwhelmed. It took me a few days to really begin to form the words to express how I felt. And each day, I say I've seen more sunrises and sunsets. I've watched more plants grow, which kind of sounds funny, but like before the mission, I was a plant killer, and now I'm like a full-fledged plant mom. And I just have a greater appreciation for life and Earth. I mean, it's impossible to see Earth from space and not feel forever change.
That's amazing and beautiful. And Aisha, I don't know if you've met Trace before. Trace Dominguez is here. I've known him for a while. He's a space science communicator and influencer.
Hi.
He joined us on our zero gravity flight last year with a mentee. And of course, you know Ari. We all know and love Ari. I want to really welcome Trace and Ari. Jump in, please, with some questions, some thoughts from your perspective too. I mean, this is our chance. We've got a couple of astronauts here with us who are inspiration engines. So let's really push them for some questions.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean,
please go
Ari,
ahead, Trace.
I was gonna say, Ari and I both went on the 0G flight. And did you guys do that before you went into space at all?
So I was not able to get a 0G flight because of scheduling before I went, but I was able to complete the NASA training, which if you're familiar, it's a facility that's trained over like 400 astronauts or something crazy like that for space. I was able to jump out of some planes, fly an L-39, kind of do a whole bunch of things over the period of about 900 days that I had to prepare to not only conduct my experiment, but ensure that I was able to be ready for the mission.
Very cool. I was gonna ask if 0G is the same for us in the 0G plane as it was for you, if it feels the same, because I've heard that it does, but I've never met anybody that did both. Except for Emily, I guess. But I didn't ask her at the time.
But the thing about it is, like, for many years, 0G's been the standard, right? So even though I didn't get a chance to fly before, I'm still trying to get an invite for after, because I would do anything to feel that way again. So thank you, Trace, for letting me put it out there. Like, invite me. I want to come back. I want to float
Yeah,
around.
right. Heard. Message
Oh,
received,
good, yeah.
Aisha. We are going to be in contact. And you know that I think so highly of you, and you're an amazing mentor. And that's so critical to our mission, right? It's not really about you and your journey. It's about what journeys can you now inspire. And I know you are just a beacon for that. So, Heard, we are going to be talking soon enough. Don't you worry.
But see, I love this, Antonio, because what we're watching is with the last astronaut corps, we're connecting commercial suborbital flight participants with orbital flight opportunities. And so to be able to participate in 0G before, if you can, that's great. But there are so many experiences that can literally lay the path to space, whether we're talking moon, Mars, or beyond.
Yes, something I know Ari, you and I talk about quite a lot is the variations of the overview effect, right? Of course, Space for Humanity, we do a very heavy lift, so to speak, that we support folks going to space. But there's other things, analogs, rocket launches. I know you facilitated visits to the UN, going to see tours of facilities. For so many folks, it's not just space or bust. It's about a lot of the other things that, Ari, even the Eclipse Fest, right? Being present for an astronautical event like that. Tell us a little bit about the previous one you helped organize and the one you have coming up, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that these transformational experiences, going into 0G flight, was really life-changing for me. And I think Frank White came up with the term overview effect as he was flying over the country. So I think that there are analogs and ways to experience this, though seeing Earth from space, I think, is the pinnacle of that. Although I'm excited to talk with these Artemis astronauts about looking at the Earth and the Moon from the farthest that humans have ever been. But I think that our premise is that on Earth, the closest we can get is to that overview effect is seeing a total solar eclipse. So really being in that path of totality, seeing the stars come out during the day, and being there with artists and musicians to astronauts and scientists. And that's why we're gathering people in Iceland and Egypt and New Zealand and beyond. But even these other transformational events, like rocket launches, like the Mission 60s event coming up in October, a new space festival we're hosting in a refurbished nuclear missile silo. These types of events where we can take these transformational space conversations and put it into these creative environments, I think, are really exciting. And also just how we are here right now, gathering in anticipation for re-entry. And I've had the opportunity to receive personal messages from Victor Glover on his way back. And I'd love to paraphrase a little about what they're looking at right now as they're going for their re-entry. And then I'd love to ask Aisha and JD about what re-entry was like for you all, because I imagine that's one of the most intense things that's probably overlooked also in the space flight. But Victor quotes the Top Gun.
And I'm also going to say, we are a minute away. Just so you know, Ari, we're like a minute away from them starting the reentry process. So I'm going to try and keep it on as low a volume as possible.
Great.
And I want you to keep talking, but I want us to also make sure that we're paying attention to just the incredible view.
1 minute until entry interface
on this screen, and that we are living in the future. So please,
So
Ari,
in
keep
this
going.
last minute, I'd love for us all to consider what Victor calls them being laser focused on 3 mini miracles that have to happen. And he references, yes, that it's a Top Gun Maverick reference. So miracle 1 is hitting the entry corridor on the correct parameters. Miracle 2 is the heat shield slowing them down
1 minute until entry interface.
from almost 40 times the speed of sound to 300
1 minute,
miles
20
an hour.
seconds until the expected start of our 6-minute blackout.
And then Miracle 3,
Integrity.
the
1 minute to a 6-minute blackout.
slowing them down into stages. From
Integrity.
moving to a slowing sequence to slowing them from 300 miles an hour to 20 miles an hour at splashdown. And then he closes by saying, "Let's return," which is not as cool as "Let's go," but we feel him on that.
And
So
so
they're traveling about 25,000 miles an hour. That's pretty cool. And,
Yeah.
and still able to send out text messages. So
Yeah.
from a low
I
trajectory, they're
Yeah,
moving.
I see Max is back. JD and Aisha. So this view, you had this view, right? More or less. You were there.
10
Does
seconds
this take
till
you
entry
back? Is this
interface.
wild for you right now?
I mean, honestly, watching the entire thing, I mean, I was so emotional when Artemis took off because I remember sitting there what it was like when the engines turned off and, you know, you're excited, but you're
And we
also
have crossed
afraid,
the
right?
threshold now,
But falling
entering the
back
Earth's
was
atmosphere.
the coolest thing. I don't know if
We're
we're-
at 400,000 feet, traveling
Oh, there it goes. You're starting the sequence
34,800
too.
feet per
Sorry,
second.
Keep talking, Aisha, but this is amazing.
I mean, it's like I love everything about this moment because I am like
Time to
super
splash
giddy.
down, 13 minutes, 10 seconds.
Like we're almost there.
Yeah.
But JD,
Aisha,
what was
I don't know
one-
about you. Oh, sorry, Aisha. I was going to say, do you remember that we had quite a little bit more G-forces than these guys are
And
getting
as
ready to-
predicted, we've entered our communications blackout.
Right down trajectory, but they're going to hit about 4 Gs.
This will be a 6-minute blackout period.
Yeah, they just
No
entered
voice.
a blackout period, so I'm just going to mute them again, but keep going. Sorry.
Well, to JD's point, we had about 6 Gs coming down. They're about to experience about 4 today. And I can tell you 4 or 6, you do feel it.
Mm-hmm. I was lucky enough to fly in an F-18, not like several years ago, and I think we got in. I threw up in there. I did.
Did you?
I did.
Wait, JD, have you flown one? Did you throw up?
I did not throw up.
Good.
I'm not. I mean, I respect Trace a lot, but I did not throw up.
We were doing it for fun, I guess, and so like he started trying to do some fun stuff. So we did some point turns and some like rolls, and I was like, okay, because I don't even ride roller coasters. But when somebody says, "Do you want to fly in an F-18?" You don't say no. You don't.
But
You
you're
can't
just
say no.
testing your gangster trace, huh?
So I threw up very, very silently, and I tucked it in my leg bag, and then they let me keep the flight suit. So that was nice.
Hey, at least it's clean.
I luckily did not throw up on our 0G flight, and I don't get seasick. And I remember before the flight, they were going around handing out Dramamine. And I'm like, oh, I don't need it. I don't get seasick. And the guy stared at me. He's like, is it going to kill you to just take some Dramamine right now? Do you really want to find out on a 0G flight if this is what did it? I'm like, okay. And speaking of flight suits and G's, Max, I don't know if you jumped down in time. I should meet Max. He's a partner of ours here at Space for Humanity. He owns a company. He's a historian, an aviator.
Right.
He's a veteran, and he also owns a company called Luna Replicas. So he makes these amazing Apollo era period correct flight jackets and flight suits. So believe me, we're gonna get you one of these, Aisha. Don't you worry.
I love
But
it.
not to put you on the spot, Max. But you're an aviator. Tell us about what attracts you to flying.
The whole concept, that the history and the physics and the freedom that comes with flying. I mean, you talk to these people that are just general aviation. Hey, I'm going to go get, they call it the $1,000 hamburger. You get up in the morning and you gas up your plane and you wind up in Chicago for a burger and back. There's just a freedom to it that's like nothing else. The world becomes a lot smaller. And you talk about, now we're we're possibly in the generation of people that see the human race becoming a multi-planet, you know, multi celestial body species. It started with aviation. I mean, it started with the Wright brothers. It started with Wiley Post and the first pressure suits and stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm also a diver and I teach historic diving. That is a real Mark V, World War I era Mark V diving helmet. That directly became spacesuits. I mean, and it's just the history of this, that real people, regular people, some of them not even college educated, became some of the people that made breakthroughs in this stuff, in aviation, in diving, in pressure suits. And, you know, charting that course starts with, you know, doing it and getting out there.
Yeah, I love your passion, Max, and that's why I know you get our mission and you get what we're trying to accomplish as well. And you also inspire me because it reminds me that we have, again, so many variations of the overview effect that we can show folks who maybe have never been in a plane or never felt those kind of G's that JD and Aisha that you felt, right? Or maybe never threw up on their pants like Trace did. Like, there's a lot of ways, I think, to change perspectives for people and have some fun doing it too. And while I'm at it, I did see pop up earlier another Zero-G mentee, Trace. Geraldine is in the chat. And well, oh my God, Geraldine, you are the best. We're so excited.
I see her. Hi, Geraldine. Hi, Geraldine. How are you?
So we definitely have to do a reunion and get Aisha on a Zero-G flight with us very soon. But while we say that, we're looking at a visualization right now. Clearly, it says visualization. This would be the most insane camera angle ever if this was real. But all of us, you know, the heat shield has been talked about a lot, not just this week, but over months and years, ever since the recovery of Artemis I. So this is, I mean, there's no other way to put it. This is a massively critical moment. You know, we have to keep them, especially during the blackout. We're used to like this moment in movies where we are just holding our breath and waiting to see when they come out on the other side of this. So I just wanted to pause and really talk about the gravity
and it
of the
truly
moment.
is ballistic. They're hopping over. I mean, there's a whole different way they're doing this. Is not the Apollo way of coming down. They are hitting the atmosphere, skipping off like a rock, and then coming back down after bleeding off some speed and heat and stuff like that. And as a matter of fact, they made that steeper than Artemis I because they found that the ablative the ablative heat shield needed to be heated up more. Actually, it needed to be hotter for it to flow properly rather than spall off in larger pieces. So like, this is risky, guys. I mean, this is really kind of, everybody did the math and we're you know, crossing our fingers, but again, regular guys, regular people, everyone in the room that is you know, everyone puts their lives in their hands.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the other thing that really became a trip for me. And I know, Ari, that you know Victor quite well. I know, Max, you've met Christina several times. And, you know, and I've gotten the privilege of meeting Victor as well. It's a real trip when you know the astronauts, when you know the humans on. I mean, I remember Aisha when you took off. I remember JD when I was there for your launch. It's really unsettling. My heart was in my stomach for both of your launches and for this moment too, because it's not just a payload. It's not just humans. It is folks you know, that you've spoken to, that you've hugged, and now you're just hoping for their safe return.
Absolutely, and we got to watch a satellite launch a couple nights after the Artemis launch, and I was saying after, oh, it's so nice you don't have to cry this time when it's just the satellites.
I still don't forgive you, Ari, for making me stay up till 1:50 in the morning that morning, but
yeah, you're used to it. But
that was amazing.
Still, yeah, another mini miracle getting out into orbit. But I also want to shout out not just the astronauts and. But all the people on the ground and in the water. I know many of the people on the astronaut recovery team and the amazing training they're doing, not just on site, but they're preparing all across the Pacific and beyond at these alternative spots.
And control as voice communication reestablished with Commander Reed Wiseman.
It sounds like they just reestablished voice
for
communication.
America and a waiting world. Integrity is 5.5 minutes away from coming home.
Yeah, 5.5 minutes.
All right, next thing is just the chutes. The chutes need to deploy, and we're
that was the crazy part.
And to your point, Max, too, they use the atmosphere to slow down.
Passing 100,000 feet now.
Incredible.
Right.
In a previous life, I worked on some Navy ships.
Range to splashdown 19 nautical
and,
miles.
I was actually on the commissioning committee for the USS John P. Murtha. She was commissioned right here in Philadelphia, so my name is on that ship. And then 10 years later, she's being used to recover Artemis II.
Oh,
That's
that
amazing.
is cool.
That's amazing.
really
And when I remember Congressman Murtha when I worked in Capitol Hill, when I worked in congressional leadership. I remember him well. So this is a really magical moment. And I don't know, Ari. I think it's a lot more than 3 miracles at this point that we're looking out for.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I
Integrity
love
back
this
to
shot.
the camera controller fail is no
This is
tab 1
incredible.
views
We
of
are
the shoot.
witnessing history. Absolutely gobsmacked right now.
Antonio, as you mentioned Congress, could you share a little bit about the Congressional Caucus and what it means for the public
We're
sector?
processing good data through the
Absolutely.
GPS
So, my
system.
background
A
oh
good
my
view of
goodness, look at
integrity.
that.
Time
You
to
can
splash
see it.
down 4.5
Look
minutes.
at that.
Oh my god! I just have to pause for a minute. That
Yeah.
is
This is
Wow.
insane.
When are drogues
A view
supposed
of
to come out?
integrity from the WB-57.
I have.
We're at 50,000 feet.
Here soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now they're at their peak.
Wow.
Their peak G-force until those drogues come out.
There.
You should see the explosion on the top part. It's a small explosion charge to let the drogues go, which will then slow the ship down before pulling
Yeah,
the main ship.
Yeah, I don't want to. I have a cool visualization of it.
The
but I
pyros
dare
are
not
armed for
jump
forward
off the
bay cover
screen, so
jettison.
let's just watch this. Oh,
Oh.
did we see something there? Come on, please.
They called out the pyro arm.
Wow.
This is incredible. I can't believe we're living through this right now. There it is.
Oh.
Drogues out.
And there go the first series of parachutes.
Yep.
Mains
There we
open.
go. Yep.
Drogues.
And this is gonna. This is a process to slow them down to a quaint 19 miles an hour.
2 good drogue chutes. Next up,
We copy. We see him.
the deployment of pilot parachutes that will pull the main chutes out.
Oh wow, I can see.
Time
the
to
wa-
splash
is that the
down 3
water?
minutes and 10 seconds.
I mean, they're still 3 minutes away. That can't be the water.
No, it's
Yeah,
gonna
they're
be
still pretty
sky.
high up.
So while we watch this and just smile ear to ear, Ari,
Yeah.
My background is
Perfect descent rate according to flight
Integrity
dynamics.
good
Is
rate
with,
on 2 drogues.
I worked many years. In
We keep the same
congressional
on board.
leadership, and as we have found, is space moments like this, missions like this, bring people together, and across ideologies, across political divides and backgrounds, across national divides. And so one thing we started
Passing
we
through
started the
10,000
Advancing
feet,
Humanity in Space
still on
bipartisan
drogues.
Congressional Caucus. And we've started having events and it's starting to, we've helped start this, right? We didn't start it, the members of Congress did. But with our urging, at times with our insistence. And oh, there we go.
Main's
go.
coming.
Yes!
Yes.
Open up.
Main chute
Come
deployed.
on.
Oh,
Beautiful.
We're
Come
at
on.
5,000 feet.
Come on, we got 2. Oh, and there goes the
There
third.
they
That's
go.
beautiful.
oh, okay.
There
So
they go.
beautiful.
Search and recovery beacon has been
And it's
activated
moments like
on
this, I can tell you,
integrity.
Ari, I
Open.
know-
Wow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
okay.
3 good main chutes.
Yeah, this is
Good
what gets
3
me down to
main
19
chutes,
miles
good
an hour.
reefing,
Look at
good
that.
descent rate.
Good rates, and we
This
see
is-
3
that
good-looking
is
parachutes.
1.5 right there.
Yes.
I mean,
Aisha and I can remember this feeling right now. When you get the 3 main chutes out, now it's just this leisurely stroll, and your body's trying to recover back from all that intensive.
Integrity. Cabin pressure
Yeah, and
indicates
there's a bit-
no
a bit
need
of a
for
jerk,
hydrazine
right?
check.
When those parachutes deploy, it's what you've been waiting for, what you're
Integrity
praying
copies.
for, but it also does take you a bit by surprise physically.
This is a perfect descent for integrity. Its crew sounding hail and
but,
hearty on board.
I mean, this is incredible. What an incredible 10 days.
Time to
And
splash
I've
down
been to
1 minute,
launches
15
before. Ari, I
seconds.
know you were there. Max, you were there as well. It was a special moment, and I've been to the press site. I've been to launches. Never seen.
I'm having
one
a special
packed like
moment right
this.
now, by the way. Just-
Yeah, me too.
This is like incredible.
Integrity about to
And
complete a journey
I just can't
spanning
believe that this is our Apollo moment.
694,481 miles
We're not just back
from
to
its
the moon, but
launch
we're back to
from the
hearts
Kennedy
and
Space
minds
Center
of
back on April
billions,
1st,
literally billions
and a
of
trip
people
around the moon.
And
And we
I'm so happy.
captured the world's attention. I
Mhm.
mean, I was in a middle school yesterday for like 350 middle schoolers, and they're all watching Artemis, right? Everybody's waiting. It was a picture perfect mission from launch to landing. And now we're seeing something that hasn't been done in over 50 years.
It's
And it is
amazing.
going flawlessly. I cannot wait to see who this inspires to be up next.
And the things that have never been done also. I mean, the first woman, the first person of color, the first international participant.
1,000 feet.
The
First
furthest
Canadian.
distance.
Yes, this is such a huge deal on so many levels. It's not just that we're going back to the moon, but it's all of humanity going to the moon to stay and to build that base to go to Mars. This is so exciting.
Yeah, and Aisha, you nailed it. It's about the inspiration factor, right? I'm so excited. I'm like at an emotional high right now. I'm so excited, and I think we're moments away from them to actually splash down. But I'm most excited for the weeks, the months, the years to come that these 4 individuals are going to share their journey, and they're going to shake hands, and they're going to speak to young ears and minds. And I guarantee you,
Integrity Splashdown.
Yes!
Splashdown confirmed.
This is going to inspire a new generation.
Waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m.
Okay, I can
Central
breathe
Time.
now. Now I can breathe
5:07
again.
p.m.
I can
Pacific
just
time.
everybody just take a breath.
From the pages of Jules
Shoots are
Verne to
cut
a modern
and
day mission
stable
to the
one.
moon,
They
a
are
new
home.
chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
Great.
Wow.
Champagne,
Enjoy-
anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have
And
brought
like
some in. I
random
just have.
hunts for my neighbors.
And the landing and support officer reports the vehicle is stable 1. We still will be deploying the crew module uprighting system to maintain that orientation.
If I could ask also, I think there's so much
for
said.
integrity and it's for
Your
astronauts.
inspiration side is so visible, but you also have done amazing science and engineering, as are these astronauts. Can you talk a little bit about that from your flight and what you hope to see expand from that?
I mean, Ari's suborbital opportunities, like orbital, are valuable for space research. And so I was really privileged to have an opportunity to do 3 things I was excited about. 1, we flight qualified hardware that could be used for future missions. 2, we worked with Winston-Salem, which is an HBCU, to do astrobotany, i.e. how do we grow crops in space?
The unofficial splashdown time,
Gathered biometrics.
7:07 and 47 seconds p.m. Central Time. We'll get that refined for you. That would put the end of the mission at a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 31 minutes, 35 seconds.
But you know, the biometrics that we gathered were part of.
I'll mute it for you, Aisha. I'm sorry, I'll mute it for myself too. I want to hear what you're saying. And the visuals are stunning enough from them. So.
I mean, that's the thing is like I'm like totally completely overstimulated. I mean, I'm talking about something I love to do in an iconic moment. It's like this is like an engineering dream right now. But you know, the third part was gathering biometrics. And so, as you know, in the history of spaceflight, we've only sent about 100 women, and less than 10 are African American women. And so, I partnered with NASA's back Trish, and we were able to gather my biometrics and contribute them to a database that'll be used to study long after I'm no longer here on Earth, right? And so, I think for me, that's like a really exciting element, is being able to take something that's a finite period of time and contribute to a knowledge base that lasts for lifetimes.
Absolutely. And Aisha, I love when you talk like that, because, you know, when we get late into the night and start talking and we're all around a table having drinks, that's where I like to take the conversation to, which is it's about the lasting impact. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about, oh, where are we going to be in a year or 2? I think of many generations, a millennia from now. And we are so fortunate to be alive, not just at this moment at what we're seeing, but at the cusp, right? At the leading edge of humanity going into space, like you said, Ari, for good, right? Going to the moon for good. Like that in our lifetimes, we could put footprints, human footprints on another planet, you know? And that's, and once that bell is rung, it's never unrung. Like we get to be part of humanity's journey to the cosmos.
Although, Aisha, I don't think that term, when I'm not here on Earth, is, I think that could be misunderstood, though. Because you may just not be living on Earth anymore.
That's right.
Aisha and I are going to have a drink on the moon one day.
There you go. Or the first commercial space station, right?
I hope that is something that we both get to accomplish. I mean, I don't think it's a secret that once you go, it's hard not to spend the rest of your life trying to go back. I mean, everything that I do is about going back to space. As far as I'm concerned, you know, our flight was just the beginning, and if I get lucky like JD, I can do it twice. But I can't wait for the day where I can see Earth again from space.
I can't wait for the day where we can launch a lot more people to have the viewpoint, because I know how wonderful of individuals you are, how profoundly the journey affected you, and as we always talk about Space for Humanity, we need more people to have that perspective, to just pause and say, you know, what are we doing here? What are we doing to each other? What are we doing to this planet? Let's just be a little kinder to each other and a little more thoughtful. So I know that we're so fortunate to have you both, I'll use a pun, to be part of our orbit, but we got to bring more people into that orbit. We absolutely do.
JD, you also not only are investing in human spaceflight, but space technology. Can you share about more of your vision of where you see this space technology impacting life on Earth?
Who was the question for, Ari?
JD.
Who do I say? Many generations to come. It affects everybody. I mean, if you're old enough to remember the first GPSs we used to navigate around and how horrible they were, I remember working my way through college as a police officer, and a guy had like the first GPS ever made, and ended up crashing into a moving train because he turned on the railroad tracks because the GPS told him to.
Wow.
And look how much better our GPSs are now. That's because of satellite technology.
Yep.
That is just one element of what we're doing. Some of the things we're seeing now, orbital data centers, the new orbital economy is coming online. We have a lot more services that are going to happen in space. Data processing will happen in space. It's far more environmentally friendly and less energy to run data centers and to do certain processes in space, and including heavy manufacturing. I would like to point out real quick that this is Jeremy Hansen's first flight. So right now,
wild, right?
Aisha and I will tell you that there is. It still makes the hair on my. I won't show you the hair on my arms, but it is standing up, and because every time I watch a launch, I think we both do. When we watch a launch, a human launch, you feel it going up, and when you watch someone coming off, you feel what they're feeling coming down. Like you have this insane feeling in your body, and I will tell you that they all have it right now, but Jeremy is probably having the most intense post overview effect flight. I don't want to coin a new term, but that after flight overview effect, it takes weeks and even months really to decompress that and unpack that experience. I can't imagine what that 10-day mission is for I would probably be trying to figure that out in my mind for years, if not the rest of my life, the things that they got to see. And I hope they really did take time to really enjoy that view.
When you come out of the capsule for the first time, after going up and then coming down, it must feel like the Earth must feel just so saturated and big and like just almost intense.
Oh, you know what, Trace, just to cut you off, we have another astronaut in the waiting room. We are about to welcome in. Let's see. Please welcome to the stream, Citizen Astronaut number 2, Sarah Sabry. Sarah, thank you for joining us live here.
Like, hey, girl, hey.
So for those of you
thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Sarah is Space for Humanity's one of our citizen astronauts, an absolute rock star. Sarah, first Arab woman to go to space, first woman from the African continent, first Egyptian, and another absolute amazing beacon of hope and inspiration engine. Sarah, thank you for joining us. What do you think about what we just witnessed, this splashdown?
Thank you, Antonio, and it's so good to see you guys. So good to see you, Aisha, Ari, Trace, JD, everyone. It's so good to be here. Wow, like what a perfect splashdown, what a perfect landing. Like, it's just incredible to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It did bring back like some memories, like the time between the free fall and the parachutes coming out. That was kind of a little bit stressful, but it went really well. This is incredible. Like, wow.
Yeah, and Trace, who's on with us, Trace is a dear friend of the organization, a space science communicator, influencer. Trace, you were just asking, I cut you off, but I figured you could ask Sarah as well, to our 3 astronauts now, if you want to ask the same question.
Yeah, my question is basically like trying to describe a little bit about what they're feeling right now, right? They're going to open this door after having been up in space, seeing the Earth in a completely different way than they ever had before, and especially in the case of Jeremy. But like when you open that door, and you kind of see the Earth again up close. What does that feel like? Does it feel big? Does it feel saturated? Does it feel overwhelming? Like what? It must feel, I mean, wild, like hard to describe.
I mean, it definitely is. I think it's a very emotional moment for sure. But I think like what they've been through because they were just looking at the moon just a few days ago. It must be such a surreal experience. I can't even imagine, or I can't even kind of like begin to imagine what they must be feeling like. I think for us, seeing Earth and then coming back to it, because it was a short flight, it was still very, very significant. It was such a profound experience, such a life-changing experience. And I think for me personally, I can only describe about like how I felt. The first thing I said was that as soon as I landed, was that everyone has to see this. And those moments that you have with the crew when it's private, when the hatch is still closed, it is very, very special. I shared a moment with one of my crewmates, Steve, that we still kind of like talk about till now, even if it's like a little less than 4 years later. It's a very emotional moment to go through this experience, to go to space and then come back. And for me, like if I just felt kind of like a weight being lifted off my shoulders, but also like being added. So it was kind of like a mix of emotions that you feel. I mean, for them, it must be the weight of the world, like the whole, like our entire Earth on their shoulders. And especially for Christina, being the first woman doing this, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine the responsibility that she has now. And she's kind of like the girls that are watching this and seeing a woman go to the moon. This is just like we're living in like, I just can't even describe that, like how fortunate and how lucky we are to be living in a time where we have 4 people that went to the moon. Isn't that insane to say? Isn't that insane to say that we have people that came back from the moon today? Like, what is this world that we're living in? And it's just, I could not be more excited to be like how fortunate are we to be, part of the field in this time? I'm just kind of just like...
Right, and it skipped a generation. I mean, if you think about it, it was 53 years ago. It really skipped a whole generation. We are the leapfrog generation of going back to the moon.
Yeah. And I want to welcome. I want to welcome in other folks who want to talk. I think we might be able to set the record for the most astronauts on a live stream because Loretta Whitesides is about to join us, and I think she might have a couple of astronauts with her. So let's see here if I can welcome in. Hey, Loretta, are you there? Oh, yep. And Loretta's there with some astronauts of her own. Hey, Loretta, how are you?
Good. Are we backstage?
No, you are live on our stream right now. Welcome, everybody. You are joining, Aisha Bowe, J.D. Russell, Sarah Sabry. We've got Max from Lunar Replicas, Ari Eisenstadt, and space communicator Trace Dominguez as well. Who do you have with you over there?
Trace! We've got Andy Sadwani's a flown Virgin Galactic astronaut. We got Rochelle Ellis, the space artist who's taken first woman to put art on the moon and a 16-foot structure to the stratosphere. We got Ron Rosano, who's a suborbitally flown Virgin Galactic astronaut as well, and space kind grad. You're all space kind grads. And Chris Feiner and me, who are both future Virgin Galactic astronauts. We're still on deck. We're learning. We're understudies for these guys.
Hey, we're
we're at the California Science Center. We just got a tour of this new home of the Space Shuttle Endeavour, his new pavilion home. That's still there's a hard hat tour, and the splashdown came right at the end of the tour, so we all got to be here together to witness it here in this room.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's so amazing. How's it look in there? I want to get in there so badly.
Yeah, you got to give us a sneak peek or send us some photos.
It takes your breath away.
When you're right close to each other, all like
it was mesmerizing. We can't wait to show it to the whole world and LA to be able to host people to see this. It's so incredible. Don't worry, we'll throw a yours night party here soon.
Oh, you're darn right. Loretta, of course, you're just a space visionary, and you're also the founder of Yuri's Night. If you've not heard of Yuri's Night, just an incredibly wonderful party that started on an anniversary of Yuri Gagarin going to space, but now happens, I feel like, whenever there is a core gathering of amazing space people around an amazing space event. So I just saw you last week in the wake of the Artemis II launch, and I know you have one coming up tomorrow in LA. And folks need to check out Yuri's night and just go and have fun, because it won't change your perspective like an overview effect, but it'll change your perspective, and you get to find a lot of like-minded, like-valued people. So thank you for all the work you do, Loretta, to open people's eyes up to the transformative power of space.
Thank you. I mean, we've had a number of people meet their future spouse at Yuri's night. You know, Vanavanta, science fiction author Vanavanta met her husband. The Russian cosmonaut who met his wife. And then we just found out there's some Goddard couple, astrophysicists met together at the Goddard Yuri's night. So, you know, it's love.
Loretta, I didn't know. That's a compelling. Those are some compelling stats there.
Yeah, now
Yuri singles night, I think they're going to call it now.
Speed dating with Yuri. Hey, Antonio, we should point out that Yuri Gagarin's flight suit is at the Air and Space Museum. You and I have both stood there when it was unveiled. And right next to it is a citizen astronaut's flight suit. Katya's flight suit is right next to it.
Yeah, if you're coming through, thank you, JD, excellent point. If you're coming through Washington, D.C., go check out the Air and Space Museum on the National Mall. There is a relatively new gallery called the Futures in Space exhibit. And when you walk in, there's a big glass case with an orange flight suit. That is Yuri Gagarin's test flight suit. And right next to it is a Blue Origin flight suit that is for Space for Humanity's first citizen astronaut, Katya. And that juxtaposition really hits you. To see, I mean, you were talking about generations, Max. To think you have the flight suit of an individual who was the first human in space, and next to them was the first Mexican-born woman in space who a nonprofit sent there. So it's incredible to see where we've gotten and how space is truly opening up. Hey, everybody there.
I think, is that the same gallery Dr. Cyan Proctor's flight suit? Is it? Flight suit's in there as well.
Yep, Dr. Cyan Proctor, pilot of Inspiration 4, her flight suit's in the same gallery. It even features a story about Amanda Wen, who was in one of the interactives, who was a crew member of Aisha's as well. And it even, I think, features an image, not of you, JD, but of your crew member, Austin. So I think it's due that we should throw a big Space for Humanity party in that gallery soon, seeing as we constitute at least a third of it. So
real quick, just to get back to the Artemis recovery
that is
here.
why we're here. Yeah.
Yeah, the Artemis recovery. By the way, I'm just listening to comms in my ear over here. They're having issues with the C radio. Everything worked perfectly until they get to the CB radio on the ocean. So they're.
How often do you check your batteries, Max?
They're setting up a satellite radio right now, which is the backup, a sat phone between the capsule and the recovery team. But I think they're going to come in and put the horse collar around it pretty soon. And the front porch will be there available for the hatch to blow. So they got to do power down, front porch, and then get the phone to work first.
We still have cell phone issues.
Yeah.
Yep.
When they wave, I feel like I'm just gonna lose it and start screaming.
Oh no! When this door opens, I can't believe it.
I lost it when the parachutes open. I didn't realize that was a trigger for me. But
I mean, but then I was like, we're on a live stream. I'm trying to keep it together a little bit. But I feel like we need we're back, like a walk-on song moment, right? Like this feels like a kind of like a power ballad moment. Like we are back in space.
Yeah, and so Loretta, we've heard...
and perfectly, really. The rocket went off right on time. Every milestone happened. I think they even wound up fixing the head on board. If not, we'll get there.
Loretta, we've heard from
parade. Like, where's the parade?
Oh no, soon enough. But
ticker tape.
Great. All right, we're sort of loud here. We're gonna sign off. But thanks for having us. Have a great time.
Loretta, thanks for joining.
Antonio,
absolutely.
And everybody go to. So Yuri's night is this. I believe it's tomorrow. Sunday at the
Griffith Observatory.
I'm sorry, Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles. Go, it's amazing. And check it out.
Yeah, thank you, Loretta, for joining us. Thank you to your Astros for bringing them along. Oh, and I think Jared's speaking right now. So on mute.
This, and then it's NASA administrator. I just couldn't be more proud of the entire workforce, the years, the effort, the late nights, all the hard work from across the country that contributed to this incredible moment right now. And yeah, incredibly grateful too for our teams here on the John P. Murtha right now.
Yeah, look at them behind us here.
Got everybody. What do you guys think? We just brought some astronauts back from the moon, huh? Unbelievable.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, so grateful to the Navy, the sailors that are here, the NASA teams. I mean, this is a joint effort that's on their way right now. These recovery forces are getting out to our Orion spacecraft, to Integrity, to get our astronauts back on the ship safely.
Yeah, and this is not just an accomplishment for NASA. This is an accomplishment for humanity. Again, a historic mission to the moon and back. How does this make you feel, and what do you hope people take away from this?
Well, I'll tell you, I think about the crew members that we've all had an opportunity to observe over the last 10 days, right? I mean, they're absolutely professional astronauts. I mean, wonderful communicators, almost poets. But then I think these were the ambassadors from humanity to the stars that we sent out there right now. And I can't imagine a better crew than the Artemis II crew that just completed a perfect mission right now. So yes, it's a huge moment for everybody, right? I mean, we are back in the business of sending astronauts to the moon, bringing them back safely, and to set up for a series more. I mean, this is not a once in a lifetime, which you hear sometimes around here. It's like, this was a once in a lifetime. No, it's not. This is just the beginning. We are going to get back into doing this with frequency, sending missions to the moon until we land on it in 2028 and start building our base.
Yeah, are we going to build on the momentum for Artemis III? I mean, it's just around the corner.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's, part of me too. Like, I can't wait to get the crew off of Integrity right now, but also getting Integrity back on this ship so we can start taking a look at it, because all that data is so precious to us right now. I mean, we are going to definitely want to take a good look at the thermal protection system. We're going to want to download all the data they couldn't transmit back to us and use that to inform Artemis III. But we're already making progress, right? You had SRB segments already showing up at KSC. Core stage for Artemis III is rolling out on April 20th. We're getting Mobile Launcher 1 back in vehicle assembly building. So yes, there is a lot to celebrate right now on a mission well accomplished for Artemis II. And at the same time, we got to start getting ready for 3.
Amazing. And last question, for people who joined us for all 10 days to see what we can accomplish together with our international partners, what do you think about the fact that we're going to keep doing this more and more and more?
It's incredibly exciting. I mean, yes, it's the contributions, like the best and brightest across the NASA workforce from across the country, our industry partners, our international partners. We had a Canadian Space Agency astronaut on board in Jeremy. We had the European Service Module. And you think in the days leading up to this launch, I mean, 48 hours prior to launching Artemis II, I was meeting with the Italian Space Agency. We signed a memorandum of understanding to build a habitation module on the moon. I mean, you have countries, all of our allies together saying, we are committed to this effort. We are returning to the moon. We're doing it to stay. We are building that enduring presence. We are going to master the skills on the surface of the moon so someday we can undertake missions to Mars. It's just an incredibly exciting time, and we're not going at it alone. We're bringing everybody along with us.
Absolutely. And speaking of everyone, one more time, we're going to ask the crew here, you guys ready to land on the moon?
Yes.
Hey, real quick, I just wanted to talk about just the Navy history a little bit. One of the first commanders of the Pacific Fleet that gave the green light for Apollo 8, Apollo 11 and stuff was actually John McCain's father. Admiral McCain was the head of the Pacific Fleet during recovery. And I personally, as a naval historian as well as a NASA historian, I have spent a lifetime collecting recovery ship caps. So this is the recovery cap from the crew of the USS Guadalcanal, which picked up Apollo 9. The Hornet, which is still, it's a museum in San Francisco. She's in San Francisco. This is Apollo 11. This is a crew hat aboard there. My friend Al Warden gave me this. So he was on board the USS Okinawa on Apollo 15, and 53 years ago, the USS Ticonderoga picked up Apollo 17. So this is the first time since the Ticonderoga that an Apollo command module has been picked up from a lunar mission. So we have a direct line from these ships all the way to the John P. Murtha.
As you can tell,
Max,
I know
you got to start working your connections. Get a hat here.
Well, yeah, and like
I might have a surprise for everybody once they
Yeah,
step
we'll
off
see.
the ship. So
But I knew when Max disappeared for 30 seconds, we were going to get show and tell because his collection is vast and just full of history and passion. And it was awesome to hear, that was NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman. One, on the international front, it does, space brings people together. And we're already looking forward to Artemis III, Artemis IV, future planned missions, and folks that are going to collaborate with those. And I can tell you that I was actually at the Italian ambassador's residence for an event the night they signed that MOU. And I was actually there again yesterday where we were celebrating international collaboration. Whether it was on the Mir decades ago or now literally on the Orion capsule there orbiting the moon. It's just an incredible tool to not just put our species in perspective, but also use it to inspire others across borders to want to collaborate. And before I toss it to you, Ari, to talk a little bit about our international work, I also want to say shout out to Jared because he nailed it. Like no offense to present company, this crew, this moment, like these four individuals, I cannot wait. Not just for that door to open, but like I was saying earlier, for them to get into classrooms, to get on the morning shows, to get on late night TV, to do a podcast, to do all the things, because this crew is just special.
Absolutely, and it feels like everyone's in the aisles with their luggage, waiting for the door to open on the plane after you land. So, looking forward to that.
For Jared, I mean, you could just see the joy, right? I mean, the delivery. It's for his first year. This is an amazing accomplishment, and it just sets the stage for future ones. And when he says, every time he says we're going to be on the moon by 2028, I just get so excited, right? I'm like, oh, I can't wait. Sign me up. I want to do that. It's just an incredible.
And I believe him.
Incredible
I
moment.
believe him.
Same. We're going to do it.
And
yep.
And also, I think to quote Victor Glover some more, when I asked him about his vision for the future of humanity in space, it echoed a lot of what the message that Jared was saying about how he wants this to be normal, that this needs to be like everyday air travel, that we need to not be excited anymore, that we're a spacefaring civilization, and this is just an everyday business as usual thing. And so I thought that was a really interesting spin on how they look at this work. While meanwhile for us, this is so exciting. This is generational.
And also, Ari, just not to cut you off, Sarah, I know you have to go shortly, but I do want to just say it's the beauty of the Space for Humanity mission, the beauty of the moment we're living through with Access. Speaking about international reach, when I think about Aisha, when I think about you, Sarah, being rooted in other countries, other cultures, having that background, I oftentimes reflect on the fact that for myself, JD, Trace, Ari, Max, we've seen humans who look like us, on the surface of the moon, in space. And I think that has given us, this permission to really dream at that altitude. The inspiration the two of you represent for others, right? I just want, especially Sarah, before you have to go, because I know your time is pressed tonight. Thank you for joining us. Let's reflect on that for a moment. What has that meant for you when you see a young person light up in a classroom, or when you're doing an activation somewhere? Where is that? How does that give you an emotional impact back to know that you're inspiring others?
It's one of the greatest gifts that I think I was ever given in my life, honestly. When I think a couple of years ago we went to do a tour around Cairo, and the kids that were kind of like asking all of the questions about space, because the space is so far away. We grow up being told that it's not for us, that it's not really something that we're allowed to dream about. And it's always it's always created the separation between like us and them, which makes absolutely no sense. But it was always kind of like, these things are not for us. Like these things are like, they do this. So it's always kind of like been that. But then like for the first time, these kids like had someone who spoke their language, who grew up in the same areas, who, eat the same food, have the same jokes, experience something like this where like you can actually joke around about that. Because I think like our culture, like we use humor a lot for everything. And that was something that was so different, because then you can actually relate to it and you think it's lot more possible. And for my niece is 5 now. She grew up, when she was growing up, when she was really, really young, she was watching me on TV. So she saw everything and it was very normal. And then with Haley Arsenault, she wrote a book and she signed it and I gave it to Luki, my niece. And now she thinks that it's completely normal for us to go to space. And she's like, oh, can you take me to space with you next week? And she was like, oh, I know, like, and she's like, now she's in the mood of like, oh yeah, you and your friend go all the time. Can I come? Like, she's like, can you take me with your friends? And she thinks like all astronauts are girls. And she thinks that, you know, we can just go all the time and it's a completely normal thing. And for her, she like growing up with that, I can't even imagine what that's like. Growing up thinking that something like this is normal, how is it even like, I can't even imagine thinking that way. I was reluctant to even tell anyone that I wanted to go to space, that I wasn't even interested in space, because I would never be taken seriously. I was told that it was a waste of time, that I wouldn't amount to anything, because I was dreaming too. I was being unrealistic, that I was setting myself up to failure. And that's what I grew up with. But for her, she thinks it's so normal, so I can't even imagine what she's going to do with her life. She had this one day at her nursery, like last year, she had a space day, and she had a flight suit, so she borrowed a flight suit from one of her friends, and she wore it, she was so excited the whole week, and she was telling her mom, I'm so excited, that she knows that they were going to be playing pretend to go to space, but still, she was so excited about it. She put on her flight suit the before, and she's then told her mom that she was scared. So my sister was like, why are you scared? You've been so excited all week. She said, I'm not scared of going to space, I'm scared of volcanoes on Mars. For her, she's already thinking about the volcanoes on Mars and how she's gonna cope with those.
That's
so
amazing.
She grows up thinking it's just so different. It's so different. And I can't even imagine, I think like all the kids, everyone, not even kids, I think like all of us watching something like this now and knowing that we're about to go back. And Aisha, you were just saying it, it's just like, I can't even, when we're hearing, Jared say that we're landing in 2028, I do also believe it. Like, I think, like, isn't it insane? Isn't it absolutely insane? And I'm just, it's so exciting to be a part of this field.
Can I also ask you, Aisha talked a little bit about it also, but the connection of space travel, human space flight, and health and well-being on Earth, I know that that's something that you're really passionate about. I'd love if you could share a little as well.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I have a startup. It's a deep tech space medicine startup. And I co-founded it with Jennifer Fogarty. So she used to be NASA chief scientist for and she was at NASA for 20 years. So we're working on making sure that we're able to not only survive longer duration space flights, but being able to thrive there. And then ultimately we want to bring back like our engines and our models that we're training with this data back to Earth to benefit the global healthcare. Because now, as we're working on in resource-constrained environments, we have to be a lot more precise with our predictions and also a lot more resourceful with our treatments. So that's something that we're working on, and it's very exciting. And I'm gonna have a little bit of news to share soon, but it's something that we're working on. Yeah, thank you, Ari, for bringing it up.
Yeah,
hopefully we'll have Cora supporting the next Artemis launch in 2028. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And then every future mission coming, because this is something we really, really need. We need it. It's not being done. It's not being done at this scale or being done autonomously at the way that we're doing it. And so I think there's a need now. It's the perfect time for this, and we're really excited about it.
Yeah, thank you, Ari, for the question. Thank you, Sarah, for continuing to live our mission and breathe life into our mission. It's one of the phrases we use a lot: to space for Earth. And I think you're showing the impact that your journey to space is having back here on Earth and how it's benefiting all of humanity. So thank you for joining us, Sarah. If you have to jump, we totally understand. But I'd love to kick it to you, Aisha. You're somebody who's no stranger to a classroom, to inspiring young people. I'd love to hear, bye, Sarah. I'd love to hear from you the impact it's had on you as we're closely monitoring this screen and seeing if a door opens soon.
I know. As soon as I saw the boat get closer, I just leaned in, right? I mean, I cannot wait for them to come out waving. But to your question, Antonio, what I'm really loving is that the idea of going to space is the first dream that a lot of people have around the world. In all the countries that I've been to traveling on behalf of the State Department, it's usually the first thing that someone tells me that they want to be, that someone else told them that they couldn't do. And I remember talking to a mom who said to me that for Halloween, her kid wanted an astronaut costume. But that after seeing our launch, she was like, it's not a costume, it's a flight suit, and it is a uniform for their career for the future. And I'm gonna buy it. And I think that's what happens when people see Space for Humanity, when they see me, when they see Sarah, when they see Amanda, when they see JD, right? It allows people to actively rewrite what they think is possible from a very early age. And impossible becomes only a suggestion.
No, that's beautifully and well said, Aisha. There's nothing to add to that, right? Because you're nudging these folks in an incredible pathway. And again, it speaks to the ethos of our mission. It speaks to why we're here, why we're excited for a little boat or going around a little capsule with some orange balloons on it. Is that this is how you inspire exploration, discovery, and a different perspective for the world. JD, do you have any thoughts to add to it? Because I know that there have been times where I've seen you. Oh, and we're getting close. Oh my goodness. If you have anything to add, JD, do it quick, because I think we're all about to lose it.
No, I'm just a little seasick watching this thing rock back and forth. I hope they're not feeling that, because you're enclosed in there. You know, they're not. Yeah. They don't have they're not having the sea air right now, so they're just rocking back and forth.
I think they're taking readings and stuff as well. They're seeing if there's any gaseous readings on the outside, and then I think they have to hook up an anti-static device, if I'm not mistaken, to discharge the static, and then
right, make sure. Yep.
And then they can put the collar on.
So close. Yeah, we still have to wait.
Yeah, since we have a little bit of time, I'll tell you, Aisha can tell you, there's a magical moment after you land with your crew, and you have this really intimate time together before you step out to the world. And I can feel that emotion behind them on the flights. They're having conversation, they're bonding. This is probably, it's not the last time they're all going to be together. They're going to be together a lot, but it's the last time they're going to be together in that space. And it's a very powerful, it's over, we've landed, we made it, we're a team. We didn't kill each other on the flight. We worked together. You
fix a toilet.
Yeah, you're no matter what you do, we all have to fix plumbing in our houses. If you're in space, you still got to fix the plumbing. So, Aisha, I'm sure I'd love to hear how you feel about it, what emotions it's bringing back for you. But I remember those feelings.
I mean, JD, I feel like you nailed it in that moment, right? Like, none of us were itching to leave. We just sort of sat there and we absorbed what we did. And we knew that as soon as that door opened, that our lives were forever going to be different, and that we would have not only an individual story, but a collective story that may or may not even truly be told. And so I can see that here for them. I'm sure they're in there like, wow, right? All the records that were broken. I'm actually surprised that Super Mario Brothers didn't hop on the Christina toilet thing. It just feels like it should happen. Like, that should happen immediately.
That is a brilliant idea. You're absolutely right, Aisha.
Super Mario Galaxy toilets. I mean,
come on.
Yes.
I hope, clip that, send that to them, because they need, this whole thing makes way, way, way too much sense, but there's just so much that's going to come out of this. And Ari, you hit it with Victor earlier, and I remember him saying, once I launch, I might be wearing an American patch, but I'm representing Earth. And I feel like they just did that spectacularly, right? Everybody's story, the execution, this moment, it really is space for the benefit of Earth.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? We're speaking of this moment, and I'm sorry, I can't get over what I'm looking at visually. I feel like I'm living through the 60s. And I think it's, while we're waiting, speaking of living through the 60s, Max, I'm teeing you up here. We have teamed up with Luna Replicas, and we are hosting a 3-day immersive event, a 1960s event, at the TWA Hotel at JFK in late October. One, it's not a question. All of you are coming. It's on this stream. You are all going to be there. And everyone viewing, I want you to be there. Max, can you tell us a little bit about the genesis of the idea? I mean, we know how passionate you are about history and all this, but tell us why what gave you the idea to have this event, and what to expect, and what the status of it is.
So the status is the tickets just went live on Splashdown. So mission60s.com. You can check out the tickets there and some more information about the event. Mission60s, mission60s.com, or you can find them through lunarreplicas.com as well. The idea is that there's tons of sci-fi conventions. I am an unashamed, lifelong Star Trek fan. I went to conventions as a kid. I've gone to conventions as an adult. I have worked conventions. I know some of these people. Antonio and I have had booths at conventions. Why not have a real space convention where the superstars are the astronauts, are the engineers, are the flight directors, flight controllers, the backroom people, the politicians that make it happen? You know, these are they are our rock stars and people that we line up to have a beer with or get an autograph. Why not make them the stars of our show? And then on top of that, having it being surrounded by the most amazing, I'm not paid by TWA Hotel to say this, by the way, quite the opposite. The most amazing adaptive reuse of a 60s piece of architecture. The TWA Hotel was designed by Eero Saarinen in 1959 through 62, was commissioned by Howard Hughes. It was the defining fundamental change in brave architecture, but also how the public interacted with aviation. It was really the first modern flight terminal. It had the first jet bridges. It had the first carousel for picking up your luggage. I mean, and it had been closed for about 17, 18 years. When JFK expanded, it got cut out of the terminal, and now it is now a hotel. They spent about $500 million restoring this place. It's absolutely amazing.
It's incredible.
It really is. It really is a time warp. And what we're going to do is combine the time warp of the TWA Hotel on a regular weekend with meeting people from the Apollo generation that made it happen, and then possibly...
Who are some of the people you have confirmed already, Max?
Yes. So Jerry Griffin, iconic flight director of 3 of the 6 landings of the Apollo program. We are working on some other Apollo veterans. Bill Moon will be there, one of the only Asian Americans in the space program at the time. He was an ECOM flight controller on several of the Apollo and Skylab program missions. Nicole Stott will be there as an artist. We're having several other artists. Chris Calley, who is the son of Paul Calley.
And just so you know, I think we're getting close, Max.
We're getting real close. I'm watching. But if you guys want to see real, well, they got to put the collar on first. I think they're trying to find reverse on that boat there.
And also for Mission 60s, like I've been to the hotel. You're stepping into the 60s. They have working rotary
100%.
phones in the hotel rooms. The windows from your room, you're watching airplanes take off and land. They have a rooftop heated infinity pool. It's wild. And
you
so
are
what we're
connected directly to Terminal 4. If you take JetBlue, you're actually still connected, and you walk through the iconic red tunnel into the building. It's going to be amazing. I'm having so much fun putting this event together because it's the event I've always wanted to go to, and I think it's everyone here has wanted to go to that event. You literally are stepping into the 60s, and because it's the weekend before Halloween, we're telling people to dress up. Like, if you're going to come, you got to Mad Men to Austin Powers. Just, come fully, in the skinny ties and everything, and you'll have a blast, a total staycation.
And we're going to create a lot more content around this as the lead up to it. And of course, tickets are on sale, mission60s.com. But what I really love about it, Max, is it's about reclaiming that zeal and that energy that, honestly, I'm looking at the screen and experiencing now from the Apollo program. And it's also about the passing of the torch.
Yep.
It's not just about what we've done, but who's going now and who will be going. And that's so critical. So we really hope to, knock on wood, to get some of these astronauts who are waiting to see emerge at the event, and as many astronauts as we possibly can. But it's going to be a fun 3 days. Mark your calendars, October 23rd to 25th.
And I want an Artemis lunchbox, man. Like, everyone in the Apollo era had Apollo everything, and they had inflatable helmets and stuff at school. The Artemis era that we are in now, this Artemis era, the new golden age of space exploration and farther, you know, we're restarting this 2 generations later. Well, you know, Jared put it out there. We're going to have a permanent moon base. I mean, this is going to be real. You will look up at the moon and see lights like you do on the dark side of Earth. You know, how cool would it be if we can be part of that passing of the torch?
Absolutely.
Listen, Max, I'm with you. I'm ready for the merch. Like, I was kind of hoping that they would have like Artemis merch on the mall. You know, like how after everything you go past one of those stalls and they've got like all these T-shirts.
Yeah.
They need to do that now. I want a T-shirt that's got like a moon on it, that's got like Victor Glover's face, just all the things.
Listen,
like the wolf shirt though, you're talking like a kind of faded Victor Glover looking this way, and then another one of him looking that way, and then the moon with maybe some trees. I would buy that shirt right now.
I want to do a shout out.
It.
We didn't plan this, but Antonio and I are both wearing our Space Coast Hawaiian shirts. I met Jennifer at the event. It is Cape Canaveral apparel. Their website is wait a minute.
Tell me, Max, so I can type it. I'm ready.
Space has always got a good shirt, right? Whether it's Hawaiian, glow in the dark, whatever, like it's always something cool.
I'm gonna give some love to my merch. Here's the official Artemis T-shirt.
Nice.
Nice.
They were having trouble keeping the Artemis, the like actual official NASA stuff in stock. Like people were struggling.
Yes.
At the launch they had there was like a food truck that had just Artemis stuff. The line must have been an hour long. I mean, these people, they cleaned up. So it's CapeKennedyClothing.com. We met them at the launch. Actually, they came to Yuri's night. They're the nicest people, and they have the coolest Hawaiian shirt designs. Ari, I think this could become your whole look permanently.
Yeah, I definitely got it. I also want to show the Uniqlo shirt that Cyan Proctor and Leland Melvin worked on. If my green screen doesn't.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's
and this
great.
benefits the Club for the Future and Space for All. And then my favorite merch, right here,
I like the collection. Let's see, Ari.
Space for Humanity, right there.
Yeah.
This is a special one signed by some of my favorite astronauts. Although Aisha, you didn't sign this one, so neither did JD. So
listen, I got a Sharpie ready for you. All I have is these reflective style crop tops for today. But this is why we gotta get it together.
So did everyone see that the cast and crew of Project Hail Mary were wearing NASA lunar replicas and Space for Humanity jackets at the premiere?
So cool.
Oh, and Jack White was wearing his NASA jacket on SNL the other night. That was phenomenal. He did a so everyone has NASA fever right now. I think we can keep this going for the next generation.
But Max, you've been to Huntsville, right? I'm sure you've been to Huntsville.
I actually have not, but we're working on a project with the SLS team at Huntsville, so we have to go.
You have to go.
That's
because
great.
I feel every time like I go there, like it's like being around my people. Like even the bakery is called like Moon Rocks, right? Like everything there is rocket themed or moon themed. I feel that for us after this mission. I feel like we're gonna wake up and there's gonna be more kind of like Artemis, moon, yada yada yada. And I'm here for it. I want to be moon down. I want the hat.
Yes.
I want the jacket. I want the bag. I want it all. And adult sizes, not just for kids.
Yeah,
I think
that's
we
the
should
thing.
start. We can definitely start the trend. Let's get mooned. You know.
Let's get mooned.
So I ran down to get my show and tell. Something I bought the day after the launch was they had at Kennedy these limited edition pendants.
Oh,
The pendant.
that's so good.
But now you gotta stop touching it. You gotta put it in glass.
Yeah, hang
don't
it
worry.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, this one's going to my nephew, who may be watching right now. So Henrik, you're getting this
nephew.
pendant.
You got more
And
than
then
one.
I'll get a.
Oh, the hatch is opening.
Open.
The hatch is opening.
It's open.
There
It's
it
open.
is.
It's open.
Here we go.
And they've thrown up. No, I'm just kidding.
They pulled a trace.
Look
Now
at the
everybody
sea state.
went-
Look at the sea state there too. That's about 3 or 4 foot, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's... Oh, they are breathing fresh sea, earth air.
Yeah.
For the first time in 10 days.
10
You
days.
And the
believe this?
people outside are breathing the toilet was broken air.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
Everybody
"What?"
who does the recovery
Oh.
is always like, yeah, they are rank every time
So-
we've opened one of these.
I have heard the story from Jim Lovell directly. God bless Jim Lovell, and the amazing wake up call that he did during one of the days of the lunar
Yes,
mission.
the
That was very,
recording,
very
yeah.
moving. He said on Gemini 14 or on Gemini 7 when Frank Borman and he spent 14 days in a Gemini capsule, which was the size of a Volkswagen. The front seat of a Volkswagen. They could smell that capsule from all the way on the carrier. He also said when they opened the hatches, that Frank and he had announced their engagement. So nothing
I mean,
like
if you've been
14 days
I
together.
want to
you know?
point
Yeah.
out you're pretty close together for a long period of time. So hence teamwork.
Oh, teamwork indeed. No, this is a brother and sisterhood that has never, that bond can never be broken, honestly. And again with Space for Humanity, the more people that experience that, the more people that experience a combined epiphany that we are, all of us, on a spaceship together on this spaceship Earth, that we will all be better for it. I mean, significantly better for it.
I can't wait to see him. I'm trying to be calm because we're like on the live stream, but I'm
Yeah.
like wiggling, like, come on.
I know. All of everything you can't see is flat, is like moving. I'm just like,
I'm trying to fill the air here because I think if we just,
Helicopter.
all of us would just sit here and watch
stare.
this ourselves.
We'd just be
Yeah, I kinda
staring.
You know what's so fun? Like, I love this because when it took off, it was like me screaming in like my living room and jumping up and down. And then I went around my block and I'm like, Artemis launched. And my neighbors were like, we're just trying to walk our dogs. I'm like, Artemis.
Yeah.
Why are you
Artemis.
talking to me?
Yes, but it's so cool to do this together because I know that the other people are around, whether they're into space or not, or like feeling the excitement, right? Like there are other folks who are just waiting for them to open the door with anxiety, like we have right now.
Well, I can tell you, just looking at the live stream on my phone, this channel, the NASA live stream, at its peak, I believe there were 10 million people watching.
Amazing.
And it had been mirrored a bunch of times too. So that was just
Oh, yeah, we're part
one
of that. I mean,
of
for all we know, we got 10 million. So
yeah, we definitely got
totally,
10 million.
10.
I think.
you're welcome, NASA.
I was in Brazil when they launched, and so I was like, do we go to the hotel bar and like I'm like trying to convince my Brazilian in-laws, be like, we need to go downstairs, we need to get them to put on a TV, I will be telling everyone in Portuguese what is happening, I'll do my best, we need to get down there.
Well, how do you say rocket launch in Portuguese? Actually,
I have no idea, but I would have figured it out.
But he has Google, damn it.
Yeah. I can translate.
English to Portuguese technical manual,
That's the other thing. The visuals we're seeing here don't need translation.
But
was gonna say
I think
the
Aisha,
visuals we saw. of
Sorry,
the
go ahead,
launch,
Antonio.
The visuals we saw this week of the Earth at distance, even this, it doesn't need a translation. I mean, it's awe-inspiring across nationalities and cultures.
Oh my gosh, the far side of the moon pics had me in a chokehold. I was like, why is this video an hour long? Like, I just over and over and over again.
Like, the one that Ari has as his background is just like one of,
Yeah.
all of us have looked at space images for as long as we've been interested, which is most of our lives. When I saw that, I was like, I have never seen anything so moving, so unique, so like alien and also familiar and just absolutely stunning. I had to like stop. I was walking and I saw it on my phone. I'm like, I need a bigger screen because I'm a millennial. I need a bigger screen for this. And also, I just stopped walking. I was like, oh my God.
And think of all the stuff that they got that we haven't seen.
Yes.
You know, you only
And
get
the
so much
resolution, so buttery, so crisp.
But I need Morgan Freeman to like narrate, right? It needs to be like the universe or the dinosaurs and just give me like moon footage. Just slow.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, we can work on that. We've got connections, and
I know a guy with a really good Morgan Freeman impersonation, so we can work on
well,
that.
I guess that's close.
That's good enough.
Yeah, good enough, right? But that said,
Shout out to Josh Robert Thompson, by the way.
Yeah, but that said, Moonjoy transmission, you know, where NASA radioed back, just because I think about these, you know, we view these astronauts as hardened, braved, well-trained automatons almost, and just to hear the enthusiasm in their voice when they were experiencing it in real time, and it is just amazing. And shout out to our merch store. We do have a Moonjoy t-shirt, so if you haven't picked it up yet, I don't know if we can drop a Splashdown discount code in our merch store, but we should do that.
That would be the time.
But it's about celebrating this moment that's going to last for a long time. Oh yeah, look at Ari, and that's a signed Space for Humanity hat, my friend.
Yeah, I think you stepped away when I was doing the Space for Humanity.
Ari, you had a
fashion
question.
show,
Sorry,
but,
I think you had a question
definitely
for Aisha.
I was just echoing what Aisha was saying, in that spirit of how important this community is, and really being able to celebrate these milestones in human civilization together. And really, I appreciate that about Space for Humanity, about organizing these events together, and the ones that we're talking about today, and recommend people listening, even if they're not in the space industry, to come out to these events and meet the people who are, and really feel that community and how welcoming it is. One other shout out I want to give to JD's crewmate, Austin Literal, who sent me a flown Devonta Smith card. I know we had a few Eagles fans on this, Max, and Christina, who just got back and has watched football from the ISS. But we got to meet at a space event and then get connected together, and then he sends me a flown card. So just the relationships that we form, I think, are so special, and really what we want to take with us to space. You know, I think we're gonna have so many robots and AI doing the hard engineering science work. And so as we start to look at and think very seriously about what it means to have these events and live in space, how do we bring that human spirit and community together to the stars, I think is really exciting.
Absolutely.
Well, speaking of Philadelphia sports,
that really well.
By the way, speaking of Philadelphia sports, there is a Phillies game going on right now. I know Christina's a big fan. I'm a lifelong Phillies.
She's probably frustrated. She's not out of that capsule yet.
That's right.
She's like, can somebody just put on the game for me, please?
So Phillies are down 1. It's 5-4 in the bottom of the 8th. Phillies
Switch the stream over, Antonio.
Down 1.
See, Christina just turned off airplane mode, and she's watching it now. She's got it.
She's got a lot of text messages.
I want to be a home run the moment she steps foot off of that capsule.
Oh, listen, Trace, hold on. You just brought something back for me. So, as you know, we can't have our phones in the capsule because Bluetooth interferes with the comms. So, I have the very same phone number that I got when I was 16 years old. I never changed my phone number.
Oh my God.
So, I go back. We've gotten back, right? I turn on my phone, and every bad date, everybody that I knew in like my entire life had texted me
of course
during that flight. So I can only imagine that when they put their phones on, it's going to be like...
They're going to just have to leave it like in another room for like an hour just for it to catch up. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Also, you're a Michigander, right, Aisha?
Yes, go Blue.
Hey, I still got my Michigan 517 number.
What up? I love it.
215 Philly, bro. You got 215.
You mean a national champions fan?
Yeah, I can't imagine when they turn on their phones what they're gonna get after 10 days to the moon. Oh, and by the way, there it is. There's our promo. Thank you, Ben, our creative director.
Good job, Ben.
Perfect timing. Good timing.
Splashdown.
We're about to lose the togetherness and start to get into sports rivalries.
Sorry.
Put up mission60s.com. It's that one's easy.
Let's do it because it looks like the door's about open now. But JD, what were you about to say?
Who's peeking out?
No, I had so many comments. Aisha, obviously, hopefully she got some calls from Good Dates, or she didn't go to yours.
I mean, it was everybody, right? I mean, listen, the DMs are still open. I'm just talking about last year, but it was just, I was like, it's everybody. I'm like, oh, it's my grandfather, and oh, it's somebody I went out with in 8th grade. Okay, let me filter that. So
yeah. Be like, oh, that was a bad date. Oh, this could have been a better date.
There you go. There's the Mission 60s.
Ben, mission60s.com. Don't worry about the Lunar Replicas page.
Well, it's a little too late now, Max.
If only they had tried a little harder, it could have been a different story. I'd like to point out that Ari, that card that you have that was space flown, I remember that cabin is the capsule is so small in there. Austin was floating a lot of things around. He was like space junk guy. Like that would be his handle on the internet. And one of his, like, I remember, I don't think it was that card. I think it was like a Michael Jordan card or something, like hit me in the head. Like I just like that's what he did. So I'm glad you got, if anybody else got one, I'm glad it was you. Max, I was wondering, Max, if you could, I know you know it. Can you articulate what we're seeing right now?
Yeah, so the collar is being assembled here. I think this might have been footage from earlier in the day. It should be aboard one of the recovery boats there now. So that will go around. That's the ring that goes around and becomes sort of the front porch of the Orion capsule of integrity there. If you see those balloons on the top of the capsule as well, those are should the craft tip over or was high seas, they can. Stable 2 is actually with the heat shield up and going down. They would be facing down on the couches. The only Apollo mission that actually came down in Stable 2 was Apollo 15 because they had lost a chute. Actually, they came down on 2 chutes. But once those bags inflate, it should right the command module to Stable 1 as it is down here. But as they said in the commentary, this was probably a perfect landing. Everything went according to plan. The drogues went out on time. The main chutes reefed exactly on time. They are designed to open slowly. You know, it's a jellyfish that opens slowly so that it doesn't tear those static cords, and the hardware that holds it against the command
Hi, Uncle
module.
Max. You're the best from Julian and Harper.
Nice job.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So, yeah, everything came off exactly right, and this is really Apollo era design. I mean, this is something that was tested and basically just a larger version of, and much more complex. But you know, these water landings kind of go the same. Again, you're looking at a system that is 340 feet tall, and that is the only thing that comes back. I mean, really, just the crew capsule. Amazing system. It seemed to work pretty much perfectly. The fact that it had these solar panels, the solar panels are a really great fail-safe. You know, they're generating their own electricity. Whereas in the Apollo era, they had batteries and hydrogen fuel cells. So you know, famously the Apollo 13 issue was their one of the oxygen tanks exploded and they could no longer use the fuel cell. So having a solar system aboard is really, really sustainable. And we're seeing here that this recovery operation is basically the same. We are really, as Antonio said, I feel like we're sitting here watching, you know, 50 some odd years ago. Of course, it's streaming on technology that was sci-fi back then, you know.
I know this feels like archival footage, but it's just incredible.
Yeah.
The heat shield itself is made of is basically the same thing even. And that was a big discussion point with Artemis, right? It's still the Avcoat kind of resin that, but it's built differently, right? And back then it was like a honeycomb that was filled with essentially a high pressure caulk gun. And now they're using computing and 3D modeling to make sure that they can kind of make it more efficiently, but also, better, I guess, saving time, weight, but also just more.
Yeah, these are not the tiles like on the shuttle program.
Right.
The shuttle tiles were.
We got somebody literally asking what is going on from the capsule.
You see him? I was leaning in. I was like, I see a head. I see a head.
Guys, come on.
That looks like one of the recovery sailors. I don't know if.
No, I don't think anybody went like.
Yes, they did. Yeah, someone jumped on board. It might be a medical officer.
I can't see who exactly it is, but somebody looks like they're like, let's go, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were having comms issues, so
sailors.
they might have thrown someone in with a walkie-talkie or something.
They have like a can on a wire.
They just got
there. It is. There's the wire. You see, guys?
There it is.
Yeah.
In talking about these technologies and how this echoes these old 60s technologies. I think what was so exciting with Aisha and JD, you all flew on this new Shepard rocket that had a reusable booster. And JD, can you talk more about these new generation launch vehicles that are able
that landed
to
itself
land?
landed itself like 10 minutes after being after propelling you to space, like science fiction, right, JD?
It's amazing for us. You get to see the booster come down and land, and it lands almost spot on that target. It's amazing how great the technology is that they can get there. One of the questions I get all the time is who was the pilot, and you have to say it flies itself. It's autonomous. We don't have autonomous planes flying us from New York to LA yet, but in time we very well could, because that's what most flying is these days. You're not necessarily piloting the space shuttle up in space. So it's just amazing. I can't believe how the Apollo missions got to the moon with less computers than we have on in our cars 20 years ago, let alone today, or in our hand with our cell phones now. So
yeah.
That JD,
Orders of magnitude more now.
It's like Waymo for space, right?
Yeah, Waymo for space. Why not? Space Mo, yeah.
Space Mo.
Yeah, we're in venture capital. We could start that up.
But also, I mean, if you think about New Shepard is very well named. I mean, you're basically going on a Mercury 6 flight.
Yeah, it's
Alan
Shepard's
freedom
mission trajectory. Yeah.
You're doing Alan Shepard and Gus Grissom. Went up and down. It's the same trajectory on a Redstone rocket. I mean, that is. If someone were to say in 1962, 63, hey, we're going to launch these every couple of days, they would have thought you were in a sci-fi comic. I mean, really.
If you said this 15 years ago, if 15 years ago you said we were going to have space tourism, we were going to have commercial space, we were going to have a reusable New Shepard rocket every month, they hit a cadence of every month. SpaceX is launching, every 3 to 4 days now out of the Cape.
Yeah.
I mean, we were down there for Artemis and just got 2 bonus launches while we were there, within 3 days. If you said this 15 years ago, people would say you're smoking some good stuff, because it sounds crazy. And I do implore people that if you, one, haven't seen a launch in person, go. Make it a goal. There's nothing like it. And two, look up Aisha's launch, like the Blue and JD's launches, the Blue Origin stream of those. So you can get an appreciation of what we're talking about, and you get to see them float in space, but you also get the energy, the excitement, the anxiety, and a real appreciation for the technology that took them to space and so many others to space.
Speaking of floating, the swimmers are in the water and they are attached to the collar.
There's a link of one of JD's flights, and thank you, Ben. Maybe we can throw on Aisha's as well, and then we'll see if these folks emerge.
They should be inflating the collar right now. It looks like they just hooked it up,
so to speak.
Yeah.
To kind of put this into just the history of it into perspective, I watched the launch with Anna Fisher, and there's the new Fisher movement that we're seeing for women that's named in her honor. She was the first mother to go to space, and her daughter, Kristen Fisher, has a YouTube channel now and was a reporter for CNN and Fox News, if you can imagine such a thing. Amazing, and was an infant or 14 months old when her mother flew to space and was the first mother to ever go to space. That was 1983. She never thought she would see this day, and watching it launch with her was just amazing. That the first mom in space, and just listening to her perspective of how far NASA has come in this short period of time. I mean, well, in her lifespan. So
no, but relatively speaking, humans stink at understanding scale. And when you consider truly how fast we've gotten here, it's mind-boggling. Like, I often think, 1,000 years from now, historians, anthropologists, astronauts, students are going to be fascinated with what was it like being alive right now, being alive at a time where we were doing this, and on the grand scale of time, doing it at lightning speed. I think you're right, JD. It's incredible to think what we're able to accomplish. And also to give a shout out to Space for Humanity. It's incredible to think what what like a nonprofit can accomplish. We've sent so many firsts. Speaking of mothers, we've sent the only mother-daughter duo to space. We've sent the first Antiguans. We sent the first, as you met tonight earlier, Sarah, the first Egyptian, Arab woman from the African continent. We've sent the first Mexican-born woman. At a time, we did have the youngest astronaut. That record got broken, but we still have the record for the oldest astronaut. Because when I meet people and they're like, "Oh, I'm too old," I'm like, "Listen, how old do you think is too old? Give me a break." We sent Ed Dwight, and if you don't know Ed Dwight's story, we sent Ed Dwight at 90 years young to space. Look up his launch. And I also implore you to watch an incredible documentary called The Space Race that was produced by our dear friend Leland Melvin. And it talks about astronauts. It talks about barriers that were being broken and the folks who led the way throughout the 20th century. And now we get to write the next chapters. We get to talk about the next century and the next barriers to be broken. But Ed Dwight, I think it's on Hulu and Disney Plus. Shout out to Leland. Huge shout out to Ed. We just saw him a couple of weeks ago. Go learn about his story so you understand the launch pads that we are truly launching on as a society. The folks who led the way, and now folks like Aisha, like Sarah, like Katya, like others, like Keisha and her daughter Anastasia, who we're empowering and working with, and Amanda Wen, to just inspire more, to blaze the trail farther down through the forest. So Aisha, thank you for what you do every time you step into a classroom, every time you do a stream, every time you get on the news. It ain't easy. It takes a lot out of all of us to put on the game face, but I know you don't have to be reminded, but I'll do it anyway. You are toppling more dominoes. You're inspiring people every time you do it. So thank you.
Well, it's a joy to do it with people like you. I mean, we're watching people decide to pursue space and science because we're breaking these barriers, and it's just such an exciting time. I also think that when they look back and they do the archaeological dig and they notice all the coffee shops we have, they're going to be like, maybe all these coffee shops were also somehow related to like the space movement.
That's right.
How fast everything was moving. Everybody was so caffeinated.
Yeah.
Super caffeinated.
Every other block.
That's great.
I want to give a big shout out to some of the these the families of people that are in these programs. I mean, it's a very similar experience to test pilots and military families and stuff. Like these are folks that have seen their families not come home, if we're nervous and we just know some of them, imagine what it's like if it's your dad or your mom, or like you said, Anna Fisher, being the first mother. Reed Weissman is a single dad, and his wife unfortunately died of cancer about 6 years ago.
What an emotional moment this week.
Yeah, Crater Carol.
Totally.
And,
Crater Carol.
I was all out of tears.
And those kids, their two daughters, are now watching their father in space with the first woman into the moon. This very inspirational mission. And now every time they look up in the moon, there's a feature that's named after their mom. So having every step of the way, I'm like, man, this must be sponsored by the Kleenex company or something. Like I was ugly crying every day.
It was a special.
Me too, Max. Me too.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that made it so compelling too, is that it is so
we have so many new firsts.
Yeah, it's just such a human process.
Yes.
I think we were talking earlier, right? I think Ari was mentioning that we have the robots that are doing some of the hard work up there, but sending a human up there, every time we do it, it becomes a completely different experience, right? We sent Curiosity to Mars. We sent Perseverance. We watched, we've watched robots land on comets and do all these things. And it's like, wow, that's really amazing. This is really cool. It's very inspirational for people like us in the industry who are interested in that exploration. Yeah. But if you are the average person and you're sitting and looking at the moon and you think to yourself, oh, hey, there's 4 people up there.
Yeah.
That's a completely different emotional feeling than, oh, there's like 47 robots, or whatever. Like, I don't know how many robots there are. But you're just
I'm already getting excited for putting boots on the moon, right? In a couple of more years. Like, I'm eating up every moment of this, absorbing it. but I know like we're about to, our jaws are gonna unhinge in a couple of years when
Yes.
we get to see our Apollo moment of first steps on the moon, right? And who are we sending for those, right? So I think it's gonna be amazing.
Can I say, okay, listen, I've never said this publicly, but as much as I love the boot on the moon, right? When you work at NASA, they used to have a boot plaque for mid-level leader programs. If you got that program, you have to like for the program, you get the plaque. But I always wanted like a stiletto. I want.
With a stiletto, would you be able to walk? This is a legitimate question. It's the regolith is so
you
dusty.
would.
It's hard underneath, right?
It is hard enough. They had trouble putting the flag into the moon's surface. I believe a stiletto would actually work.
Let's do it.
Important thing for us to get the technical specifics of this right?
We can test it. We can test this.
Get some
regolith.
There are regolith simulant rooms now because of.
We should get the simulant soil from the moon. And
I have some. I have a couple pounds of it. If anybody wants to try.
And we just need to find an astronaut engineer who's interested in this idea.
Right.
And I don't know, Aisha, where we're going to find some.
Look, I can wear a stiletto if we need to practice, and then we can call Aisha for the first, for like the real one.
Prada is already helping with the Axiom spacesuit, so I think that they could.
I mean,
help
it's Prada. Prada's involved.
They are involved. It's the lunar kinky boots, you know.
Hey, everybody knows you don't walk on the moon in stilettos. It's all about the bounce and the glide.
Yeah, bounce and glide.
It's how you. Yes, it's how you do it.
Gene Cernan wrote about on their way back to the lunar module that it actually was more effective instead of the lunar bounce to do a cross-country ski movement. So I'm excited for some lunar skiing. I think these craters will be a lot of fun for some backcountry lunar skiing.
At some point, we'll have to do a stream, Max, with your good friend Chris Gilman, who now I'm connected to. Chris is the designer of Hollywood for when it comes to spacesuits, and they are true to form and the pressurization, everything, the movements. It's an interesting conversation, Ari, about how the movements happen. That said, look, the collar's inflated. I mean, like
the front porch is there. Is somebody coming out?
Is that somebody coming out, or
is that the medical professional?
They got a helmet on.
I see a helmet. Oh, here we go.
Let's see. Because they put on their suits, their flight suits.
They did. They were in their Ox suit, which is a brand new Orion suit that was designed for this mission. They are testing that. I mean, it really was a mission of firsts. Also, Chris Gilman made the training versions of those suits for NASA, which Brandon got to wear actually before it got delivered to.
Yeah, and then if you check our Instagram feed, we had a lot of fun at AwesomeCon this past year with Dr. Cyan Proctor. She got to wear the screen-used Ryan Gosling's flight suit from First Man.
Yeah, the spacesuit. Yeah, the Armstrong spacesuit. And she met Nathan Fillion, Adam Savage, and George Takei wearing the spacesuit. She was the first real astronaut to wear that spacesuit.
So peak nerdom.
Okay, is this like wearing someone's T-shirt? Like, do you know? Did it still smell like him? We need to know.
Did it still smell like Ryan Gosling?
Let's hope so.
Yeah, that's my thing. I'm like, did you guys listen? I don't have to text her about this now.
Please report back. We need to know this.
We were going to ask him at the premiere of Project Hail Mary. It just didn't come up. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
But he smelled great. He did smell very nice.
Yeah, great.
Yes.
Great personality, great scent. It was awesome.
Thinking like apple pie in the morning, you know.
Grace, what do you think about this process? How can we make this this smoother?
What whoa, we almost lost one.
Well.
Okay.
You saw that guy in the end?
Yeah, that was,
so historically,
that would be me. That would be me if I was down there. That would be me. I would be the guy that actually fell off.
Yeah, we have a second splashdown. Yeah.
On the Gemini missions, they actually had an option to remain in the capsule and then just get hoisted onto the deck of the ship and then come out on the ship. But I believe the Apollo, the command module was too big to do that safely. But the John P. Murtha does have a well deck. It has a huge water, you know, they can fill the deck with water and then float boats right in and out of it. So theoretically, they could back the entire ship into the command module here and then just haul it up on a conveyor belt. So there are kind of options here, but you know, this is sort of the tried and true method. Of course, there was one mission, Gus Grissom's Liberty Bell 7, that sank.
That one.
Because he did not. Once they recovered, 40 years later, they recovered the Liberty Bell.
And that was
and it vindicated him. He did not blow the hatch. It looks like someone's coming out now. I think
looks like
there's some legs coming out of the hatch here.
Max,
they're
you got
starting
to create
to.
this cool
You can
raft.
see they're like have the row of people so they can pass them safely.
Yeah.
So it seems like.
Looks like they're loading some stuff aboard, possibly a
Maybe a
change of
pizza.
clothes for everybody. They might be doffing their spacesuits.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
I think they're gonna have life jackets on too,
right?
In case something goes wrong. You always
Well, that
wear a
would
life
be-
jacket on the water.
Yeah, and historically they would go out onto the porch here, and then they would be picked up by helicopter in a basket. I don't know if they're doing that for this. It looks like they have a number of watercraft here. They might just bring them back to the Mirtha on the boats.
So next, I was wondering, I'm like, okay, so you're preparing for this. You're one of the service personnel. Are you in the gym like, I need to lift the weight of Victor Glover? Like, you know, I was like, one each, right? I feel like you've been strong this whole week, so hopefully.
We'll just all contemplate what that would be like for a minute.
There you go.
That's what that awkward pause was.
Yeah, we're gonna feature Victor Glover Trust Falls at the TWA event, the Mission 60s.
Listen, we have had a lot of gems this live stream. We have a lot of good ideas here. Victor,
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, I still say the Mario Brothers thing that you brought up was brilliant. Like sheer
Brilliant.
brilliance.
All right, so I will tell everyone in the world what my idea for a product is.
Oh, boy.
And if anybody can make it happen, I'll carry them on our website, and I will be a proud user of this. But can you imagine a full-size pool inflatable that is an Apollo command module?
Oh,
You just inflate it, and it's
Max.
painted, and then the hatch is where you jump in, and the
I
windows
thought
are
you
up.
were. I thought you were gonna say a kiddie pool, an inflatable kiddie pool that looks like that raft we just saw. That would be awesome.
No. Command module all the way. An inflatable command module, like full scale or like 3/4 scale. That would be. Can you imagine sipping a
It'd be so
cocktail
good.
in your pool in one of those? You know.
Refusing to get out like these astronauts.
You'd have to leave the top open, you know, just for some airflow. You wouldn't
a
want
little
it to be too
airflow,
much. Yeah.
Where the
But
chutes go, or so. You know, actually, that's the tunnel to the lunar module. You leave it right open.
you just leave it open.
I'm not gonna lie. I have to go to the bathroom right after I get off an airplane every time. Like that's my first stop. Like I would be dying right now if this was an airplane.
Yeah,
they
once
have
the
a
door
toilet.
opens.
Well, JD, you know they offered us the diapers, so.
I believe there's a technical term for that, and that's an absorbent garment.
Absorbent garment. That's right. Let me.
Well,
just-
it really depends, you know. Anyway, the
Hey-o.
hi-o.
Dad
I'll
joke.
be here all
little
night.
story. Michael Collins, the command module pilot on Apollo 11, of course, when he was the last one to leave the command module on 11, and he hopped out. And at the time, it was the Frogmen. They were Navy SEALs and UDT teams that picked them up. He hopped out and then hopped back in and scribbled with a pencil on the inside of the command module, and they did not find that scribble on the command module until they restored it a number of years later in the Smithsonian. And I believe he added his name again because he was the director of the Smithsonian at the time. So this moment right now is the moment that Mike Collins turned around and wrote a couple of words down on the inside of Columbia, Apollo 11's command module.
The loneliest astronaut. It's
Yeah.
so far
He was
away from
wickedly
it.
funny, though. A really great
was.
guy. Mike Collins was a great guy.
I saw him speak at the Smithsonian once when I was living in DC, and it was fascinating because they were talking about all the different things that they didn't know during the Mercury program, during the Gemini program, all these things that they were learning about, and so they just put these astronauts, or potential astronauts even, through all of these different tests. And the one he said was the most shocking was the EIEO test, which they wouldn't even let the astronauts do, which is the centrifuge arm where the capsule at the end can do a 180 while it's moving. And so it's EIEO, eyeballs in, eyeballs out. Yeah. And they said they wouldn't actually let the astronauts do it first. They had a flight doctor do it, and he came out like coughing, and Collins was like making fun.
I'm sorry, I see an ox suit on the raft.
Yep.
And the camera's in exactly the wrong position.
The worst spot.
I was like, this feels like watching for Bigfoot, right? Like,
yeah, right.
we have...
Yeah. Wow.
I don't need the Blair Witch footage. I need the high quality.
Let's get the high res.
Yeah.
But yeah, eyeballs in, eyeballs out. That was a big one. I know when they sent some of the early. If you watch the movie The Right Stuff, where they sent them to the clinic and just they did enemas and how long could you walk with an enema? I mean, like, those were real.
They did everything.
All
we
the
don't
weird
know.
Stuff,
we don't know what's gonna happen. So let's just make them do all this weird stuff to see how it might affect them, or to make sure that they don't.
Oh yeah, we have somebody.
It looks like Christina was the first off.
Christina's out, yeah.
And now is that Victor? That's Victor.
Yep.
I'm gonna unmute the feed.
Numbers out.
I think he muted it again.
No, they're just not talking.
Yeah, I think they're not talking.
There was too much applause.
So real quick, Mike, when I met Mike Collins, it was the 50th anniversary or close to the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11. And he said, and he put this up on his Twitter, somebody did for him. He said, I shall never answer these questions again.
2 to go.
I'll never answer these questions again. Were you lonely? No. Did you think you wouldn't come back? Whatever. And he said, the only question I want to answer now is, what's the best Cabernet under $10?
Yeah. He's funny.
I was wondering, do they have like cheeseburgers and beer waiting for them on the?
Man, I hope so.
We're about 1 hour from sunset out in the Pacific. Everything continues to go well. Integrity's systems function perfectly during its entry back to Earth. And Reed Wiseman, the commander who will be last out of the vehicle, reported that all the crew members were feeling very well.
Amazing.
Listen, I hope he's got a Sharpie out and writing everything in there.
I love Reed. He's such a nice man.
Captain America.
Such a great guy. Yes, he's so nice. Just
LFG, LFG for Reed Wiseman.
Okay. Crew member number 3 now out.
There's Jeremy Hansen.
This is incredible.
They brought a hockey stick for him just to feel at home,
Welcome home,
And now standing by for the commander, Reed Wiseman, who will be last out of his ship. Bobbing in the Pacific under almost ideal conditions, Integrity spanned 694,000 miles during its journey from launch to splashdown.
All right, he's down.
Here we go. Do you think they're singing sea shanties, or?
That's exactly what they're doing. You're
right. roll the old chariot,
I think one of them's been singing them for 10 days. They're just sick of it.
That's the hot goss I want to know.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, right into the sun.
Beautiful. Come on, get back around. Oh, perfect.
Whoa, what's with the fade? Trying to be cinematic here?
Yeah, come on. You're gonna get an Emmy either way. You don't need to be.
Yeah, right.
You're gonna get a
try that hard.
It's fine.
And we now have Reed Wiseman out of the vehicle. All 4 crew members now out.
4 out.
There we go. Yes.
Right.
And then Jaws comes and.
And then wait, there's a 5th member, an alien.
What if like Rocky comes coming in?
Yeah. Amaze.
There it is. That's all of them, people.
I hope they're filming this in 70mm because I really want to see the documentary on that.
Where's the IMAX camera?
Where's
Nolan?
I'd watch this again, just the whole thing again in IMAX. That's it.
Yeah.
Literally 10 whole days in an IMAX theater.
Once again, all 4 crew members now on the front porch. And the procedure to begin hoisting them up to these 2 Navy helicopters hovering overhead will begin shortly.
Wait.
Maybe we can get this on the sphere. Can we get this? Can we do the sphere in Vegas on the?
Something tells me the sphere's already ready.
Oh yeah, they're on it. I mean, you saw they did a moon projection on the outside of it last week.
Top tier.
Did they? Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I have a really good idea that I can't tell you about that I would love to.
Is it
if anybody
as
knows
good
the
as,
sphere people, have them call.
Is it as good as the pool floaty idea? Or?
No, it's not as good as nothing is as good as the pool floaty idea. I think we can all agree. It's Mario Galaxy as a sponsor of the, and then pool floaty. That's definitely the hierarchy of
top tier.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to tweet that.
I'm gonna have to make a shirt now for the merch store.
So if you go aboard the USS Midway, which happens to be in San Diego, they have a replica of the helicopter 66, I think it was, which is a Sikorsky helicopter that picked up the almost all of the Apollo crews. I believe the original one doesn't exist
What
anymore.
a shot! Look at them, amazing.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Max.
No, you're good. That's that is incredible.
Do you think
so, yeah,
these
the
4
Midway
people...
in San Diego? If you happen to be in San Diego, the USS Midway was another recovery ship. It is a actually the Intrepid in New York is also a recovery ship from the program, and of course the Hornet, which picked up Apollo 11 and 12.
Control Houston. The mission is over, but the melody lingers on as jubilation continues here in the flight control room. We should be expecting NASA's Associate Administrator Ahmed Chhatria to be joining us shortly for a short interview while the recovery operations continue out in the Pacific. So we'll stand by for that. And then we'll turn it back over to Megan Cruz aboard the USS John P. Murtha.
Listen, we are go for jubilation, guys.
Hey! I know, right?
Hey! Jubilation.
Hey!
Go for joy.
I didn't bring my whiskey in here.
Oh, on that
I
note,
brought my
I feel
lovely sparkling water.
Yeah, should we all take a quick break to get our drinks?
Listen, I'm gonna have to go party in real life. This has been a joy, guys.
Aisha, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for coming, Aisha. So nice to
course.
see you.
Good to see you. I'm just gonna go pop some champagne over here in real life. So.
Get your Mission 60s tickets live now.
Do it.
You then.
Well, I think we got Aisha covered. I gotta be.
She's
Listen,
good. All right, we're good.
Clever trust fall. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye, Aisha. Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
I'm definitely going to go out and have a beer after this.
Yeah.
Like somewhere out in the world amongst other people.
I might go see Project Hail Mary again.
Oh my God, I want to see it again. I saw it when I was in Brazil, so it was subtitled. It was in English.
It's no longer in IMAX theaters around here, unfortunately.
They're gonna. I thought they were gonna do another run. I thought
Super Mario took over the IMAX.
Maybe I'll go see it tomorrow by myself.
But I'm definitely gonna go have a cocktail after this. This is incredible.
Something poignant that Mike Collins also said on the way back from Apollo 11 is, while everybody was watching the astronauts, they are the tip of the spear. I mean, the iceberg that flows underneath these 4 that you see here on Orion is quite substantial. Apollo had 400,000 people that worked on it. This is now an international team.
Mission Control Houston here in the Artemis Flight Control Room. A number of flight controllers basking in the glory of the successful end of this mission that carried 4 astronauts around the moon on a lunar flyby, and the first test flight of Orion with crew members on board. Splashdown occurring an hour and 32 minutes ago after a flawless descent back into the Earth's atmosphere for the vehicle. It's 4 crew members in good shape.
I feel like you could tell me it was 10 minutes.
Simply enjoying their time right now on the front porch, as it were, the inflatable raft alongside of their Integrity spacecraft. We're expecting Ahmed Chhatria, the NASA Associate Administrator, to join us here momentarily for a brief interview before we turn it back over to Megan Cruz aboard the USS John P. Murtha, the recovery ship.
Max, what were you saying?
I was saying Mike Collins made a point on the way back from the moon to say they really are, the tip of the iceberg, and the people that make this happen are the engineers, are the technicians, are the security guards and guys that sweep the floor. This is and even to the point of the American taxpayer. I mean, really, this is in this case, this is an international mission where part of the service module and the Orion capsule was built by ESA. And it's amazing what teamwork, there's these lots of quotes. If you want to go far, you do it with a team, right? So
and it's moments like this. I even think I know Dr. Proctor, Sam Proctor, couldn't be with us tonight for this, but we'll have to run back some of this footage and maybe talk to some more astronauts in the coming weeks about this and their reflections. But even Cyan's father, Cyan, who piloted first black female pilot of a spaceship, and her father was in Guam working on the Apollo program. And, it's not just, who's working to tighten the bolts and, in southern or southeast United States, but also like around the world, folks who are helping to maintain connectivity. Folks who are helping to connect, to do the math, to do the planning, to do the execution.
This is Mission Control Houston. We're about an hour and 34 minutes since the textbook splashdown of integrity in the Pacific to bring home our astronauts. And with us now is Ahmed Chhatria, the NASA Associate Administrator.
The Associate Administrator.
Ahmed, a little bit of history made tonight, a little bit of history made over the past few weeks. Your thoughts as this team here basks in the glow of what they just accomplished?
Yeah, Rob, we're here in the control center, and it's kind of overrun with jubilant folks in the Mission Control Houston, as well as engineering, and folks that just want to be here, part of it, as we watch our crew get extracted from the vehicle. And my thought is always about these teams, the team that's in the water right now, pulling the crew out, the team here in Houston that worked so hard over the last 10 days, no sleep to get this done. We still have some work to do to get the crew to the med bay here on the ship. They all look great coming out, so hopefully that won't be too long. I think we saw the administrator on the boat too, giving his thanks to the Navy team on the Murtha, which they're just an incredible group of sailors. I was able to visit with them a couple weeks ago. And then if you pull it all the way back to the workers and the folks that joined the rocket at Michoud, that made the heat shield tiles that held together tonight, that stacked the vehicle in Florida, that integrated the vehicle in Denver, that fired the engines in Stennis, that fired the boosters in Promontory. I mean, this is the entire team, coming together and being tested by the environment that this machine went through. And they did it right. The work was good. They did it right.
You've said in a number of briefings, of course, and in other forums that this is just the first step. The cadence has to step up, as the administrator has indicated. Now, it's a little early for the full report card on how integrity did, but did this mission ultimately, from your eyes view, exceed expectations?
It absolutely did. I mean, I was waiting to talk about this until we're in the water, and I think we still have, again, work to do to bring it in and really kind of go through it bolt by bolt and see what we learned. But I mean, so far, given what we learned during the mission and given how we performed on ascent, on entry, I always think about energy in terms of the states that you worry about the most, and every time we put these machines through these incredibly energetic states that came through. So I'm fairly confident that we made a big step tonight to get us on the path towards the surface. I think the path to the surface is open now. We do have to do all the work, and we'll make sure we talk about that as cleanly as we can. We learned a few things during the mission, but I have to tell you, this was an incredible test of an incredible machine.
From an American psyche standpoint, the Empire State Building was lit up red, white, and blue tonight. Our coverage was seen on baseball stadiums around the major leagues. How captivating was this experience for the American people, for the world, in fact, as we returned to the moon?
I have not been able to watch a lot of the coverage as we've progressed through the mission. I will tell you, just from my witness in Florida before launch, and then seeing the people's faces here, and then reading where I can about how things are going. I think this has been a gift to the world from NASA. NASA has given the world a gift, proving to folks all over the place, especially young people, and that to me is what this is really about. Young people, when they see what we can do when we work together, when we have teams that collaborate, that it doesn't matter how hard the problems are, we can solve them. I'm hopeful that Artemis II, as folks witness what we were able to do with this incredible crew, this incredible team that we've birthed into the world, scientists and engineers and artists that have been inspired by this. And even if they don't come work in the program, which separately they should come work in the program because Lord knows we need the help. But even if they don't want to come work in the program, hopefully they grow up to recognize they can do amazing things when they work together and contribute to society and be good citizens and really change the way, the challenges that are coming in the world are overcomable if we work together like this.
And one final question. Flying to the moon, we did it. We've done it again this past week and a half or so. But the engineering that went behind the design of this mission and the precision, the pinpoint precision of this vehicle entering that entry corridor, it's almost mind-boggling.
Yeah, it is incredible when you think about the energies involved and the uncertainties involved. That when we inserted the vehicle into orbit, it was 99.2% down the middle. When we dropped the vehicle right on top of the fleet here, our guys knew exactly where to go, but the guidance was perfect. And it's interesting. I've got this question a lot over the last few weeks about, we did this before 53 years ago, and that. It is a reasonable thing to contemplate, like what's gone on since then. And what I'd tell you is, when we did Apollo, which again, the more we learn about what they did, the more magical it seems what they were able to accomplish given the technology and the learnings that they had. But when we did Apollo, the architects of Apollo, Gilbert, Seaman, von Braun, Mueller, what they really, really wanted to do, as they were contemplating what it meant to expand our range of action to the lunar surface, what they wanted to do was learn how to live and work in space for a long time.
Yeah, it looks like they're about to hook somebody up to the helicopter.
They could expand their range of action to the moon. Now, of course, the politics of the time and the mission at the time was different, and so they had to go straight to the moon and bring people home. And then after that, the program kind of lost its momentum. But after that, NASA kept moving along those paths, right? So we recognized during Apollo that reusability was going to be important. We spent a lot of money on those machines, and we spent a lot of money on these machines here. But we recognized that reusability was important, which is why we built a winged space plane called Space Shuttle, and then we used that reusable machine to build a space station. And we learned for 25 years how to live and work in space, and have been able to develop technologies that can enable exploration. So really, what I think is now, 53 years later, we're at the point where the architects of Apollo would have been pleased that we're now ready to actually go back to the moon and go back to stay, because we've learned all the things we needed to learn.
There's a lot of people pleased here tonight, and we really thank you for joining us, Ahmed Chhatria, NASA's Associate Administrator, as we begin to hoist the crew onto the helicopters to head back to the recovery ship. Thank you very much, and congratulations, Ahmed.
Amazing. All right, well, I'm going to mute that, and as we're approaching the end of this, we were planning to be on for 2 hours. We're approaching 2 hours and 20 minutes. These views are incredible, but I do want to give everybody an opportunity to go around, recap what you're feeling and tell us, what you're working on these days, what the next big thing is going to be, and what we can look forward to next. So, JD, can we start with you?
Man, it's amazing. Just I don't have the words to express it. What I want to be working on is that all the technology that we need to get and live on the moon. This is the most exciting time I think we're going to have in our lifetime in space, or at least for us on this call or on this video. I think there's so much opportunity. We're going to see so many more firsts coming. We're going to have the first women on the moon. We're going to have the first groups of people living on the moon, growing crops on the moon. The first people from Canada, the first people from, you name it, all the first we've had, the first in space. Now we get to have the opportunity to have the first on the moon. And that's just so exciting. We've got multiple private space stations coming online. We have an orbital economy of data centers and different satellites doing very unique and very different things that just were never contemplated. It's an exciting time, and I'm just so happy to be a part of it. And I want to thank you, Antonio, for the opportunity to be here with you all today. And Max, Trace, Ari, you guys are great.
Awesome. Thank you, JD. I want to kick it over to you, Ari, now. Like, what? I mean, I know, like I said, you know, Victor, I know we've all been glued to the screens, but what are you feeling right now? What have you felt, and what's the next big hill you have to climb?
Yeah, I mean, this is so exciting, and I think we're all going to remember where we were for every step of this Artemis mission. And I think, like it's been said, I'm excited for this future. And you know, Max mentioned how, you know, if you mentioned to someone from the 60s, you know, could you imagine this? And I think that many of them actually could. That this was a vision for the future that was sold to them, and that wasn't given. It was promised, but we lost it along the way. And I'm hoping that we can, you know, achieve these dreams that we want. That we don't have to get picked up by helicopters to fly to the moon. That we can just, you know, walk over to baggage claim, and for this to be available to everyone. And so I'm really looking forward to that future where we can see everyone have access to space and benefit to space here on Earth. And in the meantime, having these transformational events like Mission 60 is coming up, like the Iceland Eclipse Festival, and how in Egypt and in a nuclear missile silo with Atomica, being able to gather and dream these futures together. But it also comes down to the political will, and that's why I'm so inspired by the work that you've been leading, Antonio, with really advocating for these space futures to come. So we're really excited to engage with this community, and I can't wait to hear more of these stories and the science that comes back from these heroes that are flying over to their boats right now.
No, thank you, Ari, and thank you for all the work you do. I'm eager, and you know, hopefully folks will get used to seeing our faces, your face more, because we have so much to catch folks on, not just on the work on Capitol Hill, but also the work you're doing with the United Nations. It's all such a demonstration that space brings people together near and far. So I'm so excited to continue that work, to continue to activate hearts and minds, and continue to grow and build access to space in so many different ways with you and with the partners we see on screen, but all the partners that we have in our orbit. Absolutely. And when you mentioned baggage claim, you reminded me too of, like, Max and I were talking earlier today about, like, the Apollo astronauts and how they had to go through passport control. There's always a regulation. There's always a stamp to be put on a piece of paper. So I'm really curious to see if any of that's been updated, or what's going to happen now if they've got to go wait and queue in line for some TSA global entry pre-check or something.
They got to declare.
Yeah, what do they got to declare?
All the moon
I've got one empty jar of Nutella, and that's about it. And that said, Max, I want to kick it over to you. What have you? I mean, I know you're so passionate about not just aviation and space, but you know, the exploration of the moon as we see the last of the 4 being lifted up. What just recap what you're feeling right now, what you're feeling watching this scene right now, and tell us a little bit more about what drives you and your passion.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, you know, the regular people, the normal people that make this happen, that can achieve great things and you know, reach new mountains tops. You know, there is really nothing insurmountable. You know, getting to know you and Space for Humanity and the you know, JD and Ari and Sarah and Cyan and everybody for the last few months and this last year, you know, it's sort of, there was this kind of push in. Look at that picture, by the way. That's a great
Incredible.
shot. Pushing us all together, you know, this sort of program has pushed us together, and that is what I think can happen for the world. And I really do believe that. I think that, you know, things are very divisive politically and biblically, and there's an opportunity to bring people together with certain things. I mean, we can all basically agree on a number of these things that we're seeing today and what has been accomplished. We all live underneath the moon. We all live, drinking the same water and breathing the same air. And I think that the difference between people that make these things happen and don't is inspiration and support, and the right people that can that mentor and make it happen for them. Knowing the right people and being influenced by the right people.
Yeah.
If we can do that, if we can change one life or change, inspire somebody, then that's a huge mission accomplished.
Yeah, and as we see him touching down, that's what it's all about. It's what it's all about for Space for Humanity. I think when people learn about a nonprofit that sends people to space, but then when they go a level deeper and realize how committed we are to changing humanity's future, not just in space, but here on Earth, and the fact that there are young, unactivated, dormant geniuses out there who have just never been shown the pathway, maybe never been shown a role model, maybe never been told that they are allowed to dream at that altitude. And that's what it's all about. And
to our benefit, it's to everyone's
Absolutely.
benefit. That person could cure cancer, could solve the mysteries of Alzheimer's, could come up with the next cure for polio. You don't know until you inspire the genius inside everybody. Similarly with the space program, you don't know what you're going to find. If you don't have a lofty goal, you don't know what's going to come out of that. We didn't know that penicillin was going to come out of a piece of mold on in a lab. Inadvertent discovery is you'd be shocked. How much
human progress.
Discovery happens.
It's still discovery.
It's still discovery. And if we're not in that lab, if we're not doing that, if we're not being mechanical or turning that wrench or whatever it is,
Giving space for other people to do that too. Even
Right.
if it's
That's
not
it.
you.
I often think that when I'm in a room, there's somebody with a good idea who's not speaking up, and that's a problem.
Yep.
And that there is a generation that will solve the climate crisis. There's a generation that will cure cancer. There's a generation that will step foot on another planet, and there's a generation that will make first contact with intelligent life. And spoiler alert, we can be that generation. So, and we need all minds activated, all hands on deck. And that's the beauty of what we're facing here as an opportunity. I want to kick it to you, Trace. And right before, I want to just close out what I was saying before my statement about Cyan's father, a hidden figure. We have so many hidden figures, and it's so important to discover them and to celebrate them, to talk about Cyan's father, to talk about the Ed Dwights, to talk about all of them, and make sure the folks know it takes so many to accomplish extraordinary things. And I think it's important to note them and to celebrate them and to replicate them. Trace, over to you. What are you feeling while we're watching this right now on the tail end of the night, the last 2.5 hours we've had together?
I mean, I just keep coming back to like my mind is almost blank, right? I'm just trying to absorb as much of the detail as I can, like we're going to remember this day. We're going to remember this mission. We're going to remember seeing people do this for the first time in so many decades. And it's going to be one of those things where if you go to a Yuri's night, somebody's going to be like, "Hey, where were you when this happened? Where were you? Did you watch the Artemis II?"
You can pull up the live
April
stream.
10th, 2026.
Right, exactly. Like people are going to remember that and they're going to talk about it. And that, I think it's something that's part of the reason that people have been so in love with watching what is happening is a little bit to do with divisiveness, is a little bit to do with kind of like how the world is right now and how difficult things have been, but also because people, I think, crave this level of inspiration, this level of we can do hard things, we can do big things, we can do ambitious things, and we can do them without putting down someone else, without saying I'm winning and you're not. We're all winning. We can all raise each other up and be like excited for everyone. It's like the watching something like this, it feels like It's like watching The Price is Right. We're just happy to see somebody win, and we're happy that we're there and we're part of it. And it's like, but on a with science and with this engineering, with people power, with smarts, with gumption, you know, all of these adjectives we have, and with grit, but also with empathy and with just that feeling of like, we are all these people. We could all do this. And they are so human and just made it feel so both alien in a more like we've never experienced it, but also approachable and almost like, oh, I could almost picture myself, you know, putting my lotion on in the capsule. Like you could almost like, oh, it's so related. It's what I do, you know. It's the best. And so I'm feeling a lot, obviously. But like, it's just great to see such an amazing crew have such a successful mission. And everyone, like Max was saying, all of those hundreds of thousands of international crews of people all trying to just achieve this goal.
Yeah.
By the way, can I just point out
amazing.
something real quick? Everything has been amazing about Artemis and all that stuff, and obviously the engineering that went into it. We just watched 4 large helicopters
yes,
perfectly land on a moving and pitching deck exactly on their, if you look on the lines on the deck, they are absolutely lined up perfectly.
Yep.
You know, within a minute of each other. If that's not an indication, I mean,
Look
these
at
are
those wheels. Look at that rear wheel.
Look at
that's you know, that was not insignificant, by the way. Naval aviation is
no offense. I guarantee you they picked the 4 best pilot or the 8 best pilots possible for this.
Yeah.
Wow.
But this is everybody. I mean, we're talking about, you know, just in this recovery is hundreds of people, hundreds of sailors, pilots, deck crew, you know, the engineers driving the ship. You know, it's a
they're slowing down the rotors.
It is a full teamwork here, you know.
And last week at the Artemis launch, they were selling merch, and I bought a Artemis Recovery Team hoodie because right across the front it says "For All Humanity," and I think, and so they know that too. You know, the folks who you see running around right there on the deck, the folks who flew them, they are also going to remember this moment and swell with pride, knowing that they are part of a mission for all humanity. And I think this is truly, you know, this is the mission on full display. And I'm just so eager to see them now. I mean, we're so close, we might as well wait. Let's see them emerge from the helicopters, and hear and listen in as they start to get a hero's welcome after what they've achieved in the last 10 days. But while we wait, go ahead, Ari.
Yeah,
please.
go ahead. I just wanted to build on that also, like, we talk and point out all these resources, and it's not money that's spent in space. We're spending it on Earth. We're investing in these skills, in these people. And every dollar invested in NASA returns 40 times that into the economy. So it's not something esoteric and out there. Like it's tangible, real technology that's benefiting Earth. So I just wanted to echo
I
that.
appreciate that, because it's moments like this. I think of the James Webb Telescope.
There they go. Here they come.
Where things were over budget and people were bemoaning it.
All right, and
like
now here we see pilot Victor Glover.
And it's all about these moments here. These unifying moments.
And mission specialist Christina Cook,
help us re-examine
sitting on the edge of one of the helicopters, looking in great.
Do they have individual helicopters, really?
That familiar smile and laugh from Victor, I can see it
That's
from here.
class.
Christina, I'm sure feeling the same way, just blocked a little bit by our camera here, but we'll see her here shortly.
And there are NASA and Navy photographers.
A photographer taking their pictures.
Get those photos. I know that hunch,
Victor
that
saluting
photographer hunch. I
folks
can
on the
see
flight
it.
deck. They look like they're in great spirits. Happy to be home, I'm sure.
Those look like comfortable Reeboks, by the way. Are
They sure
Reebok,
do.
Nike?
Oh my!
Nike?
I
What
was
are they
just admiring
wearing?
those too.
You are wondering, what would you want to ask them if you got a chance to talk to them? Because that is
What would you want to ask them? Well, that's a good question for us. What would you want to ask
the
them?
opportunity to talk to.
What's the
or
first
ask
thing you're going to
questions
eat?
of these 4 astronauts who just made history as the first crew to return to the moon.
What would be the first, Max? What would you eat?
Since
What would you eat?
1972.
What would I eat?
Yeah.
Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, cheesesteak. I actually, there is a tuna hoagie that I love at a place in Margate, New Jersey called
Christina there, also smiling, finally peering out, waving at the camera.
Hey, oh yeah,
welcome back. Welcome home.
She hasn't texted me back yet. Wait a minute. Let's see if.
Yeah, you're one of the weirdos.
A loudspeaker announcement on the ship saying, "Welcome home, integrity."
Well, that...
finally a wave and a smile. Let's go.
Yeah, look how excited they are. I love that.
I'm not sure I'd have the Philly cheesesteak right after that. You're just getting back to gravity. Your stomach.
You might be talking to his other two crew members.
Not a tuna hoagie, no.
Shouting across the flight deck. Congratulations to one
Maybe a
another.
little broth, something brothy.
Yeah, you might want to ease into that heavy meal. So just remember, you're finally for 10 days you've been using a toilet that's using air suction.
And so now we see some Navy personnel walking up to the helicopter. This is again the first helicopter carrying pilot Victor Glover and mission specialist Christina
Or
Cook.
10 days, I mean. They're...
Both have taken off their helmets now.
Is it like when you get discharged from a hospital? They
Yeah, right. You got to go
They,
out
like, make you do it. They don't want them to trip.
That's right. Can you imagine? I broke a kneecap getting out of the helicopter.
Some pictures, video to catalog this historic
Not
moment.
the microwave at home one, but like go to a really good
Like a real ramen.
Beautiful sunset just behind them.
I would get really nice sushi actually.
Golden hour.
They've been living on.
I didn't have
LA.
dinner before this live stream.
They're drinking food out of a straw for 10 days. So, and
yeah.
Now we see
miso soup and sushi.
Maybe something
Jared
crunchy.
He is on the flight deck as
Some
well
Cape
as
Cod
flight
chips,
surgeon
just like the
Sharon
crunch, you know. Just
walking
They say
over
the astronauts say they miss
to Victor
texture
and
more than
Christina
anything.
first. We saw the administrator walk over to the other
Maybe some
helicopter.
burritos.
Yeah, they're
which
not
is
going to let you have
carrying
chips. in a
Commander Reed
closed,
Weissman and mission
weightless environment,
specialist
right?
Jeremy Hansen.
There's the hug.
We heard from Rick earlier in the broadcast. Again, he said he's going to be out there on the
Yes,
flight
they must
deck
be in the front, the lead two
to
helicopters. And,
do another initial assessment of the crew, ask them how they're feeling.
At
Anything
sunset,
bothering
I mean,
But again, from what I'm seeing,
Pacific
they look like they're in
sunset.
great spirits
They
and
should be
feeling
playing the
pretty
Top
good
Gun theme song.
for folks who just traveled
I'm really looking forward to asking
195,000
about-
miles from Florida to the moon.
talked a lot about that
and
blackout
Emergence.
period on the backside of the moon, and he had that beautiful message of about, that this is about love and sending love from the moon. An amazing speech if you all have a chance to listen to it again.
It is.
And I'm really interested to get more insight from that, especially after they have time to really think about what it was like to really be fully
Now
disconnected.
seeing
from
NASA Administrator
West
Jared Isaacman walking across the
that-
flight deck. He
that
had been
dark side.
talking to Reed
Distance,
and
I
Jeremy,
think,
now
is gonna be
approaching Victor and
affecting the
Christina.
moment.
A hug
JD
from
and I
Victor,
often talk
a
about
hug from
reflect on
Christina.
The time you need to sit with
What a
the
moment
overview effect.
that we're getting to experience
But this
together.
is, for the first time in over a half a century, a lunar overview effect. They were far enough away to cover our entire
I'm sure
planet. The only
congratulatory
home they
words.
would
You know,
know
we got to
with a
speak
thumb.
to the administrator live on this
And in
broadcast
that-
as
you're right,
well,
in
and
that dark, in that blackout
he
period,
said
on
the
the other
kid
side,
in
on the
him
far side
right
of the
now,
moon,
giddy,
it
absolutely
is
giddy
them and everyone else. And what does that do to you?
at what
So
we were
I-
able
I'm-
to accomplish.
You know, whether you're Jeremy and this
today.
was his first flight, or
Returning
your
them
experience like the
home
others,
safely
I am
and
so
in good
interested
spirits
in,
after
now
a
that they
10-day
can shut
mission
off mission
around the
mode
moon.
oh,
and sit
there,
and
there we go.
Oh, there we go.
We're seeing Jeremy
Jeremy's walking.
Oh,
walking,
Max, do I see
waving.
something
Canadian.
special?
I do.
Flight deck now on
The
his
Canadian
way
says you're not wheeling
to
me.
Bay.
You're not wheeling me out of this helicopter.
Ah, no
Okay,
way.
Max,
I'm
Max,
gonna
why don't
walk.
you- Let's wait
With a
for
short
another
walk.
shot.
Are they going to get a close-up shot?
I hope
Less
they get
than a
better
minute.
shot, and Max
Again,
can
that's
then
why
tell
the
you what's
recovery
very
team
special
decided
about
to
this
use
moment.
helicopters
I mean,
to
a
get
lot of
them
things
on the
are
flight deck.
All the Americans have to walk now. You can't just be showed
For
off
that
by
short
it.
walk
You
to
need-
medical
come
bay.
on.
I know, right? Come
I
on.
like that they were in space for
And
10
now
days.
the
We were just
flight
talking about
deck is
everybody coming together, and we're like, whoa, the Canadian did it. Now we're the American.
No, buddy,
Right
I'll
back
be
into
fine.
it.
I'm going to walk this one out.
Rick
Little
showing
healthy
different
rivalry
places.
is
He's
good.
going over to the other
Where's that
helicopter.
Tim
Big
Hortons
hugs,
on board,
big
I heard?
hugs.
Hey.
From Victor
Maybe that's
Christina.
what they told Jeremy. They're like, we got you some, we got you some munchkins inside or whatever they
Timmy's is
call them.
open for another 10 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
Gorgeous sunset.
Yeah, he's like
setting the stage for this recovery
stage of
tonight.
escape.
We got you some Swiss Chalet, Jeremy. We brought it all the way. What do you think? You want it?
I think you're making way too much of it. I think he just really had to get to a real bathroom.
He's
I think
taking
that was
it.
really
Yeah,
it.
right.
Yeah,
You've
spoiler
been
alert,
floating
we never
for close
finished.
to 2 hours.
And now
we
here we
go.
are,
What's this?
Christina,
Oh no, we got Christina walking now.
She's walking.
making her way, looking
They are
thankful,
trailing her
grateful,
with the
happy to
chair
be
just
home.
in case.
Just in case. They're supporting her. Yep.
This is the best shot we got. Come on.
I know, right?
I know.
Come on, let's get
Surprised
on
by
board
this.
shot.
You can see she's looking up again.
How
Lots
do you
of
get that
people,
job to push the
a
chair?
few levels up
I know, right?
off the flight deck.
I wonder what hats they're wearing.
All right, Max.
Welcoming
you
her
wanna-
home.
Okay,
Max,
Max.
the beans?
Tell me.
Yes. Mission hats, Max.
Well, just wait till
Scott
the
holding the
close
door
up.
like a gentleman,
maybe-
but
Is there
back
gonna
on
be
his
one?
way
No, there's not.
to the other crew
I'm just
still
gonna,
on
I'm
the
gonna
flight
kill the
deck.
feed.
Is that the flight surgeon? Who is that on deck?
I don't know, but I
now?
love that the camera like doesn't know who's going next. So it's like,
Yeah.
Gotta split the difference here.
That's like a
Well, they gotta
boss.
walk.
You on the
They
flight
gotta
deck?
walk.
Oh, there's
Victor Glover.
Yeah,
they
I'm gonna
gotta
guess
walk
Reed's on left.
from like all the way on the other side of the ship.
Oh, why? No, because I thought they were 2 and 2.
It looks
They
like
were
Victor
I think
will
it's
be
2 and
the
2.
next one
Is it
heading
2
to
and 2?
Medical Bay.
Oh, okay.
I think Reed and
More hugs,
Jeremy
more
were in
hugs.
42 here, and
Yeah.
He's a
then
hugger.
Christina and Victor were in
Oh, that's
44.
and there's Jared walking around, handshake to the pilot.
Victor
solid.
looking good as he walks across the flight deck.
Victor's like, nobody's helping me.
Yeah.
Staff administrator
I got this.
applauding
All right, there we go.
Yeah,
Victor.
there you go,
Yeah,
Victor. Nice
Victor.
job, dude.
for all the
Reed?
folks on the ship with him who played a
His
role
hats look
in their
okay.
safe return today.
Hey, we're live, Max. Maybe hold it together.
Amazing.
Come on, Reed. Where you at?
Come on, Captain Weissman.
Captain America.
Another fun Victor Glover quote when I got to meet him at the White House was someone asked
Oh, no
him
big
about-
deal. Yeah, no, keep going, Ari. That's cool.
Finally,
Don't
just
rip through that
one
shirt with all the
Artemis II
flexing you're doing,
member
Ari.
left on the flight deck. Commander Reed Weissman.
Hey, what kind of White House? You know?
Yeah. But someone asked like, what was training like? He's like, I trained like a madman. That's how he looks at it.
Applause from
Yeah.
the group there on the flight deck.
There's Reed.
I'm sure as well
That
as
is that there. He was keeping that bone mass.
on the level just above them, packed with people. Reed looking good as he takes his steps towards
Oh,
the medical
wow.
bay.
And there's a chair.
All right, let's go aboard. I want to see the press
Yeah,
conference.
There's some.
See our 4 Artemis II crew members back on the ship.
Woo!
Again, now they will head into medical bay, where they will be
Going to medical
assessed
bay?
by flight surgeons from both NASA as well as the Canadian Space
So
Agency.
Max, I think we go ahead and spill the beans.
A more
Yeah,
in-depth
we can see this in
assessment.
Post, but I suspect that if we don't get a good shot soon, we're gonna get a good
When
shot
they
in
get
the
to
next
medical
90
bay, they will
seconds. or it's
each
not
have their
coming,
own
so-
nurse.
Tell-
All right,
spill the
mute it
beans.
for a
Helped out
second.
of
I'll give the
their
whole speech.
Suits.
All right, a whole speech. Here we go.
So on the recovery ships, not just the hats they made for the crew, but there were hand embroidered hats that were made for the astronauts and like President Nixon and the captain of the ship and the admiral and stuff like that. We are a company that makes we actually make the hat shells exactly the same and have the original machines that made the chain stitch embroidery by hand on those hats. And we just made it happen. It happened on Tuesday, and we sent them to the John P. Murtha. And I believe, and they say USS John P. Murtha, astronaut Weissman, Artemis II. So you'll see them in
What?
some recovery photos.
So Max
They
made
are
the hats we're
exact-
wearing.
You
exact
made those?
copies of the Apollo 11 and Apollo 13 recovery hats. And we made
Amazing.
them, and a huge shout out to our friends at NASA that made that happen. But they walked aboard the ship with them after I overnighted them to San Diego the other day.
Wow.
And it's a special thank you for being on this live stream with us. The hosts all are gonna get hats. Thank you, Max.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
How about a free
Oh,
jacket
man,
too?
Max, you
huh?
didn't have to throw it.
Yeah,
Max
yeah,
threw a
it-
jacket too. You didn't have to
Yeah,
do that.
Trace,
Max.
JD, you text Max.
Wow.
You know
Yeah.
what?
Thanks, Max.
And a helicopter ride. Why not? Let's do it. Let's go.
Private tour of all those historic places Max described tonight. So, well, as we close out, I just want to say thank you to anybody who's left viewing, to all the viewers who watched it, those who are going to watch this as it's recorded and posted for posterity. Thank you for everyone for being part of this human moment. Just incredible 10 days, incredible journey, and it's only the start. It's only the start of amazing things to come. And so, and I just can't thank enough for you all for joining, for being a part of the journey, being part of the Space for Humanity team. I want to give a special shout out to our producers who helped make tonight possible and so many other amazing things possible. Ben and Brandon, who are just incredible. And the entire Space for Humanity team, the entire board, every donor out there whose dollars go to making space dreams come true. So I can't thank you all enough for watching. Thank you all enough for participating, and thank you all for adopting the vision, joining the mission, and being part of our crew. So with that, I'm gonna stop sharing the feed screen, and thank you all for being a part of this amazing 2 hours and 45-minute journey back from the moon.
What a week, guys. Amazing.
What a week.
Incredible.
What a week. And I just want to say, I did get a text message. We were going to be joined by Jeff Lovell, the son of Jim Lovell. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. They were at an event in Virginia for a test pilot event that they're holding for their father. So regards
also,
are sent from the Lovell family.
Yeah, and I'm also texting with oh, actually, hold on 1 second. We might have a last second person who can join, which will be insane. So
How many seconds do you need? Because I wanted to say I have a television show called Stargazers. So in the interim, if you don't have a mission to look at the sky, you can look at the sky and see some stars. So I looked up what might be some good stars to look at this week while you're looking up at the sky. And I think the super spring triangle would be a really good one. So we're getting to spring in the northern hemisphere, and to find the super spring triangle, go out and look at the sky around 4 a.m., face northwest, which is to say north toward the North Star, the Big Dipper. And you use the Big Dipper to find Arcturus. So you take the handle of the Big Dipper, follow the arc to Arcturus, and that star is an orange star in Boötes the herdsman. Then you can follow a line and spike. They call it arc to Arcturus and spike on to Spica. We say this in the show often. Spica is in Virgo the maiden. It's a bright blue star. And then if you make two lines down toward the horizon, you'll find Regulus, which is a blue-white star in Leo the lion. So Arcturus, Spica, and Regulus, and you'll make this giant triangle in the sky. It's very cool. One of many triangles that actually a bunch of different stars make throughout the year. There's the spring triangle, but there's also the summer triangle. There's the winter football. There's the heavenly G. There's all sorts of really cool shapes that we tell you about on Stargazer. So that's this week's kind of stars that you can find. Pretty fun.
That's
amazing. Thanks so much, Trace. Trace, where can we watch Stargazers?
You can find it on YouTube. South Florida PBS puts it out. You can find it on hopefully your local television PBS station, although I can't tell you when it airs because every programmer gets to choose that, so it comes out different times. But YouTube is a good spot. You can also just Google it and you'll find a whole bunch of episodes. We're almost at our 50th year doing the show. It started in 1976, November of 1976, so we're coming up on our 50th anniversary later this year. It's going to be wild. Wild for PBS. So it's going to be wild, but it's also going to be kind of like, hey, everybody, PBS, which I love. So that's a good place to see it. We do a new episode every week. It's about a minute long, easy to use, easy to find, cool stuff to see in the sky every week.
All right, I'm going to go look for the spring triangle. Thank you.
Yeah, very
That's
welcome.
amazing, Trace. And Trace, I can say, is very talented, a gifted space and science communicator. I've known you for too long that I care to admit, but Trace has done amazing stuff. Everything from Discovery News to PBS and everything in between. And I love
We're actually
watching
launching
you.
a new show
Really?
as well. Yeah, I just got we just announced the trailer.
And we have our special guest.
Ooh.
Please allow me to bring in.
Hey!
Hi!
This is my dear friend, Deputy Associate Administrator of NASA, Casey Swelles. Casey, where are you right now? I'm going to stop the share so we can get a better view.
I am at the Mission Control Center. I'm right outside of MCC in Houston, Texas, with
Amazing.
a very excited group of NASA employees. So most people have already started to head out to either the press conference. There's, of course, several splashdown parties going on. So, but the mood here is pretty high. It's pretty cool.
Casey,
Amazing.
Congratulations. We cannot
Thank
congratulate you enough. We are at 2 hours and 50 minutes of coverage that we've been, and I can't wait for you to watch the live stream. We had astronauts on here. We had so many people who were just celebrating you and the team's accomplishments. And we are emotional, we're excited, and we're just so proud proud of NASA, proud of you, proud of everyone.
Thank you, guys. I couldn't be more proud. It was so emotional, watching Splashdown. It was emotional being on the floor with the team and Mission Control. This team just crushed it this week. I mean, crushed it and brought the whole world along with them. And that's what was so cool. I got to go say hi to the families and Mission Control and just, to see their reactions. It's just a really, really special week, not just for NASA, but just for the whole world. So the world needs more Neil Armstrong moments, and this is one of those for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, we want to thank you so much. The work and dedication that you and your teams have put together through so many years to make this happen, I think will carry forward through generations. So we're just so grateful for everything that you all do.
Thank you. Thank you, Ari.
We're so excited for the next mission, right? We're excited.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe it. The launch, I know you were there with me, at the launch, and I still have shivers from what we saw 10 days ago. And now what we just saw of them splashing down.
Can you believe it was only 10 days ago? It's only 10 days ago.
What a heck of a
Now
week.
they're here.
Geez.
What a week. Yeah, what are we going to do next week?
I know.
What's next? No, really, I'm a big West Wing fan and stuff, and I really think the line "What's next" is it's very poignant here because the permanent base on the moon, the stepping stone to Mars, all of this is something that 2 generations ago wished for, and we're seeing it now. I mean, we are very fortunate and blessed in a way to be living through this time and fulfill the promises of Chris Kraft and folks that came before us at NASA in science and education, and certainly from the fan standpoint, we're super excited about this. And I think the groundswell has been felt. People know that this is going on now. And it's been amazing.
Yeah, Casey, we don't want to keep you too long because we know you got parties to go to that are well deserved. But celebrate on our behalf.
I definitely will. There's a lot of celebration.
Yeah, give the biggest hugs to those brave astronauts and send us photos to make us jealous. And I can't believe you took time to check in on our live stream and say hello. We are so fortunate to count you as a friend of the organization, but to know that we have people as talented and passionate as you, helping to lead NASA and make more successful missions like this possible. So thank you so much, Casey.
Well, I love having you all as friends and for being huge advocates of, the space industry and the community that we get to be a part of, because I'm probably a little biased, but I don't think there's a cooler industry out there. I think, and just days like today, this is like a once in a lifetime, kind of career moment, for sure for me, because it's, I feel like I've spent my whole career kind of leading up to this moment. So it's pretty cool. And Max, I'm happy to let you know the hats did make it. So
I saw.
Woo-hoo!
I saw.
So I haven't seen them. Did you see them?
We saw them all week. The shot coming off the carrier. Yeah.
No way.
Oh yeah, they made it.
Yeah.
They were wearing them from the helicopter. Somebody brought them to them on the helicopters. So.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks for making that happen.
So as I have said, we are making history. You guys are making history. It is. I study pieces that are in the Smithsonian. You and the entire crew there, your stuff is going in the Smithsonian for everyone to see. This is America's achievement, but you guys all should be very, very proud of it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, you're gonna need to make another one of those hats because I'm gonna buy one from you. They're pretty cool.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
But Casey, thank you so much. You are making history. I don't think anyone's going to argue. Nobody on the face of the earth is going to argue with you about how cool this work is today. And we're looking forward to the next journey, the next mission, and the next way that we can all be supportive, because I think today is just such a perfect reminder that space brings us all together.
It definitely does.
It really does.
It's a unifier, and that's what's so about NASA. There's not too many organizations that get to inspire for the benefit of humanity. So
inspire billions.
Billions, yes.
Literally billions.
Literally.
Well, go to one of those splashdown parties and have it, raise a toast, enjoy yourself.
I will do that. I will do that, guys, and I hope to see you all soon. Thanks for kind of documenting this and bringing in the community with you. So.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to party. We'll party in person when we see you next.
Ciao, Casey.
All right, bye, y'all.
See you, Casey. Bye, Casey. All right, and thank you all for joining.
We might all need those wheelchairs, by the way. Let's borrow the wheelchairs from the John P. Murtha.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, I know, and to my producers, I know we hung on a little later than we said we would, but I thought Casey texted me, and I'm like, oh, this will be worth waiting a couple of minutes. So,
absolutely.
For sure.
Super special, amazing night. Way to cap it off. Thank you all. This is like a great crew, and the crew who joined us earlier. And can't wait to run it back for the next Artemis mission. Space for Humanity. Go to spaceforhumanity.org. Follow us on our online social channels. See the fun adventures we're on, but also pay attention. Sign up for the e-newsletter. If you buy merchandise, become a donor, join our crew. There's so many ways to join the mission, and it's good, and it's just the best for me. I'm biased too. I think it's the best nonprofit in the universe, and so I'm so excited to help lead it as the executive director, and to have, and I know you all had a taste of it, to see some of the people who are part of our team, so part of our crew. So, thank you for watching. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll see you soon.